but I pressed go live, and so that was very sudden of me to do that. But speaking of sudden, everyone should suddenly join the Discord. Hey, linked in the pinned everything everywhere, and so definitely do that. And so...
You know what else you should suddenly do, guys? You should suddenly just, so accidentally slip and, you press the join and become a member button.
Whoopsies!
Where you can get, oopsie, I guess you're going to get daily members-only videos.
Of which, actually, I forgot to make the 8 o'clock video. Okay, you know what? I'm going to make that 8 o'clock video a members-only video. I have been on getting that set up. So, hey, if you saw it today, you're one of the lucky few. I'm doing that right now.
That's what a membership will do for you.
Yeah, you'll get to see the video that if you aren't watching it as of right now, you're about to lose access to. Hey, yeah, so daily videos for members. Wow. For the whole month. Okay. And Jman, hey, you. Hi.
Yep. Hey, Oodie, hey, Kamui. Welcome back to the Walky Talky podcast, guys, where I think Kamui does the walking, Oodie does the talking.
Unfortunately.
I do the crawling.
I don't say a word all stream. I only walk.
Speaking of walking, what are you doing right now, Jman?
I'm crawling.
Oh, okay.
Just crawling around in my room.
I guess that's thematically resonant. All right. So on to Naruto/Boruto. Paradox, if you're... Okay, Paradox is getting set up. Paradox is ready. Never mind. Paradox, hello!
Paradox.
Hello, Paradox. How are you on this fine evening?
Do you feel paradoxical?
I think your voice is going through a paradox right now.
What?
Okay.
He's speaking, but we're not hearing.
That actually is a paradox, Kamui. That was pretty clever. I'm not gonna lie.
I was about to have to start doing some trippy rhymes if this kept going on. I feel like I hear you at like 1% volume, Paradox.
Yeah, and we have you turned up, so it's on your end. Maybe you're using the wrong microphone or something, but...
Maybe you're just like 100 feet away from your microphone. Just yelling.
Okay, well,
while we wait for Paradox.
So, Jman, Kamui, you wrote a podcast topic about for Jman, right? We could do that one real quick.
What was the one that we said was really good for Jman? The first okay.
Well, you definitely wrote Jman somewhere here. I thought. Was it today? It was today, right? Yeah, is it way up here? How far up did you write it?
Okay. So, Jman, I have a question for you.
Sure.
So, I'll give you a hint. This jutsu has only been used, to my knowledge, one time in the entire series. The jutsu is called Fire Style Blaze of Glory. When do you think this jutsu was used?
Fire style, shoot. Blaze of Glory. No, I could Google it right now, but I'm not going to. I want to say Blaze of Glory Jutsu. Man, I can't remember that name.
Well, it's a fire style.
Okay, well, how about this? What do you think happened
name.
when the jutsu was used? Let's start with there. Like, what do you think it did?
Well, okay. Let's even go even further. The first question we should ask, do you think it was glorious?
Yes.
Okay.
I would think
What are some glorious fire style moments you can think of?
Sure, there were a bunch.
Such as?
When do you think it was?
Blaze of Glory. Man, that could be literally anywhere within Shippuden, right?
I mean, it
It
could
could
be.
Well, it's gotta be. It's because I don't remember that shit in part 1 at all.
Well, Kamui, should we help him out a little bit?
Well, Jman,
Yeah.
I didn't remember it in part 1 either.
In particular, because it in fact was not glorious.
So if it's a fire style, it must be like it's probably like used by an Uchiha at least.
I mean, it's
think
definitely
there's some merit to that.
possible.
Getting warmer.
But I can't remember when that
No
technique
pun
was
intended.
used.
By the way. Well, I mean, Jman.
Well, okay.
Think about the most glorious fire style moment in part 1.
I feel like you're saying part 1 to like throw me off. I feel like it wasn't even used in part 1.
It is in part 1. I will just confirm that for you.
Yeah, it is. That's why I said I didn't remember it being in part 1 either, because it is. But I didn't remember that.
He's a good man. Okay, so.
Well, I found this completely randomly by chance, looking for something completely different, and I just saw this, and I was like, "What the hell am I looking at?"
So, Kamui, I haven't gone back and like double checked like the dub or anything. Do they just not call it that in the dub when they use it?
Well, okay, I didn't actually. Let me just check it right now. If I'm not mistaken, actually, let me just check the whole chapter.
Because I'll be honest, I
think it might be a different jutsu in the anime, but I'm gonna double check if Sasuke just.
Oh, okay. So Sasuke.
Whoops.
So it's a Sasuke. Is it like a Sasuke fireball jutsu like variant?
Well, no, it's the Blaze of Glory jutsu.
Well, okay, wait, no. Blaze of Glory. So is this before he was just using like? I want to say, yeah, okay. So Sasuke Uchiha in part 1. Man, when would he have used that though? Maybe at the beginning. Well, yeah, no, because he could use that at the beginning. He could use that as a child, as a really.
Well, he could use the fireball jutsu is the first jutsu he learned.
Yeah, that's
this
the first
is
thing.
A Blaze of Glory. Okay, so
I can't exactly say when it was, but I think
it
feels like it was early.
Might change what he used here. I'm not fully certain, but I think in the anime he might have used either in addition to this another jutsu, or he just used another jutsu.
Okay, was it during? Was it during like, say when Sasuke was like training with like Kakashi?
It was not.
And he didn't use it. Man, are you sure he didn't use it against Kakashi?
He did not use it against Kakashi.
Kakashi
was. I don't know. I'm
stumped.
Real quick though, side tangent. I'm looking in the data book. Sasuke has a fire release Phoenix Sage fire technique, which apparently is the one where he conceals his shuriken along the rampaging flames. So that's like the one he uses against Zaku in the Forest of Death.
Amazing,
man.
I wonder if
is it during the beginning or the end of part 1?
It's on the earlier end.
Earlier half for sure.
Interestingly, I don't think it's in the data book.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even remember like the name of that jutsu, let alone the fucking what it actually does.
Yeah, now I'm gonna check multiple places now just to see. But I mean, let's just start thinking about fights where Sasuke uses fire style.
This is going on way longer than I thought it would.
I want him to guess it.
I'm letting Kamui just take this topic on his own. Well, Jman, let's go in order. So,
okay, it's the same in Viz. That's 2 for 2. Now let's check the anime.
So, Jman, just based off of like memory, go in order of every Sasuke fire style jutsu he uses in part 1. Just in order. Let's see if you can like remember them all and or name the one that it is. And we'll let you know if it's within the category you've listed.
So it's not when like Sasuke's like training with, or not training, but fighting against Kakashi with Team 7 at the beginning.
No, that's the fireball jutsu.
So he's fireball there. When would the next one have been?
When is the next one?
It's not against like Haku.
Whoa, hold on. What makes you say it's not against Haku?
Or I guess it probably could have been, I guess, right?
I mean, that is the second time he uses Fire Style. Is there any other time Sasuke uses Fire Style in Part 1? Just going through
uses it against Orochimaru.
Okay. And as we already listed Zaku, so I'll just give you that one for free. And then when does he use it next?
After Orochimaru?
Yeah,
after Zaku, I guess, technically.
Yeah. Actually, that is a good question. I'm actually thinking about that myself.
I know who it is, yeah.
I think I know, but I'm thinking I might be missing one, because it's like, I'm thinking way later.
Oh! No, that was after. That was after Orochimaru. So there's a fight in between Haku and Orochimaru where Sasuke uses that jutsu, is what you're implying.
But we want, no, after versus Zaku in the Forest of Death. After that.
After the Forest of Death? Okay.
Yeah, when's the next time he uses a fire style jutsu?
He doesn't use it against Gaara, right? No, he doesn't. What would have been, so it would have been after that arc.
Okay. The anime changes the name of the dub, although it looks the same. Now I'm going to check the sub.
Actually, he might use a Phoenix Flower jutsu against Gaara, but I don't remember. Does he?
No, so, did you say Tamara yet?
Oh, right. That's
anime only.
Yeah,
he uses Fire Style against Tamari. He does use Fire Style against Gaara as well in the forest.
In the forest.
Okay.
Then he uses it against who?
After Orochimaru.
Well, after Konoha Crush.
Right after Orochimaru.
Yeah, so after Konoha Crush. After Gaara.
Who's his next opponent?
Well, think about what happens. You know, Hiruzen died, and then someone came to the village.
Oh, yeah. So it was against Itachi then?
Was it?
Nope.
You tell me.
He doesn't use Fire Style. Only Chidori against Itachi.
And then he was knocked out, and that's for the entirety of Search for Tsunade. His last retrieval, he wakes up, he goes to the rooftop hospital.
So was it against Naruto then?
That's the next time he uses Fire Style.
Okay,
and we'll just give you a hint. He also uses Fire Style against Naruto again. But is that who he used the Blaze of Glory jutsu?
Yeah, I'm confused because you said it was near the beginning of Part 1, but now we're at the end.
Yeah, we just wanted to get you to say who he uses Fire Style against.
Yeah, well, we were just naming every single instance of him using Fire Style in Part 1.
Okay,
yeah, so now you know
where does he use that jutsu?
And it's one of those. You also know the anime changed what he said there. The jutsu looks the same, but he changed what he said.
Oh, it did change what he said? What does it say in the anime?
Yeah. Fireball jutsu.
I was right, let's go! I can't believe that's crazy.
I thought he might have used the Phoenix Flower. He might use the Phoenix Flower in the anime again later in the fight. That's what I thought it was, but he says Fireball jutsu in the moment when he uses the Blaze of Glory.
Okay. So you're saying it happened at the beginning of Naruto? So was it against Haku then?
It was. Now, let me ask you: do you think it was glorious?
It looks pretty glorious.
I mean, it looks glorious, but it doesn't do anything
until it did nothing.
Not even making a dent.
The Blaze of Glory jutsu used once and it was not quite so glorious.
As a matter of fact, it is a pitiful flame.
So if the blaze of glory is
shit.
pitiful, my goodness. What does Haku think is good fire style? Is Haku just gonna be like dissing on Madara like the fourth great alliance when he and Obito do their big fire style jutsu? Is Haku just gonna be standing there like, oh, what a pitiful flame?
Yeah, I love Sasuke's reaction to Haku just dissing on him. He's like, ugh. Wow, you got it right. Now, what I will say, because Kamui, I am interested in this. What does Viz use for when Sasuke does the fireball fire style jutsu against Naruto on the rooftop?
Let's find out, because this does look pretty similar.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It looks exactly like that moment, right? Yeah, he's not using the fireball there. That'd be cool if you know, my favorite thing to say. I'm hoping
it is the blaze of glory, so that it is used twice.
And so it can actually be glorious.
Okay, I'm looking at that
fireball technique.
On my source right here, it's not even saying blaze of glory. It just shows the Japanese lettering or the characters.
Well, it probably translates to blaze of glory.
Well, the colored manga translated to fireball jutsu. Well, actually, Oodie, yeah, why don't you just translate it? Oh, Viz says fireball jutsu too.
Interesting.
Would the Gokaku no jutsu be the fireball technique?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's saying here. Gokaku no jutsu.
Should be the blaze of glory.
I mean, at least that's how it's always been translated. Let me just double check. Because I know we have... This one's fire. I just don't know what these other two even are. So
let me see if the Viz one's more clear. It might be easier to look at. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm an idiot. Viz doesn't show the Japanese kanji there.
I'm just going to do this so I can just get the kanji.
Yeah,
that's the blaze of glory.
Yeah, but we're going to go like kanji by kanji here. What is this kanji? Australia!
Australia! Right. The Australian fire style.
Oh, so it does.
The Australian fireball.
That's awesome. So Sasuke was giving Haku an accent there.
So I'm just gonna beat around the bush and say it's probably not actually translating to Australia, but probably something closer to one of these, I guess.
Or the other one's tremendous, big.
It's not
terrible. Terrible works with what Haku says after terrible flames.
Yeah, actually, it is just straight up this because Goka. Except this isn't the correct cost. So I don't know. That's weird.
Extravagant, fancy.
This one makes sense. Exactly. Plus, this goes along with what it's translated
That's the
as.
Rock Lee fire style.
Yeah, this is weird. So. I guess overpowering, great,
is
powerful.
Is Australia known for being overpowering, great, powerful, and excelling?
I don't know. Well, Jman, are you Australian?
No, I'm not Australian.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait another day to find out. All right. Well, I'm glad we got that topic done.
Yeah, didn't expect that to take us long either, but that's okay.
Paradox.
Should we use this in
I'm sure you've been waiting for
a use topic.
Point. You can put it there if you want. Hello, Paradox.
Hi.
You're still kind of low.
Okay, I will try to talk louder then.
It's not a volume issue of your voice, it's a volume issue of your microphone.
You sound like muffled.
If you could increase the volume of your microphone, that'd be great. I can't even hear you.
While he figures that out, the bottom one is fairly related. The bottom Naruto topic.
Okay.
So, did you guys know that no method can defeat Haku's crystal ice mirrors? Only one thing is clear. It is said that no method in existence can defeat this technique.
I guess the Nine Tails doesn't exist. Where does that scalp
the Nine Tails isn't a method. It's a person.
I love the idea that this implies...
fair, it does say it is said, so who said it?
Ooh. I love the idea that this implies that Haku wasn't punched through the ice mirror, but rather Haku just undid the ice mirror at the exact moment that he touched it to like make it look like it did.
Yeah. He was just trying to make Naruto feel good.
Yeah, exactly.
Or rather Kurama. He felt bad. He was so pitiful.
Now what I will say is, obviously this would either imply, like, implicitly to all of Haku's enemies that he did kill before this, when he was a non-broken tool becoming broken over time, or this just directly is in reference to Naruto and Sasuke, who felt like it was like an overwhelmingly uphill battle.
Yeah.
The point that it felt...
I mean, the way Zabuza talks about it makes it seem like nobody's ever beaten this technique on Haku before.
Well, but... I mean, obviously, nobody has. Haku's alive.
Yeah. Oodie.
And we're back.
Okay.
Hopefully, anyways, did stream go down? Let's find out. Doesn't look like it. Alright, we're still live. Well, with that being said, Paradox is he good yet?
No, he wasn't making much progress.
Okay, Jman, did you have any topics you wanted to cover? Okay, Kamui, do you have more topics you wanted to cover?
Oh my god, you titled the stream, What is Love, Baby Don't Hurt Me?
Yeah. With, of course, a Jura thumbnail.
Yeah. That's funny.
Wow.
Your stream thing's also being messed up for me. Your Discord share screen, I mean.
Oh, here. Probably because my Wi-Fi went out, but there we go.
Well, Oodie, you can present the next topic, though, if you want. Okay. Unless you want me to do it again. Well,
would you?
I guess it's time we showed him the tier list.
Yeah, let's do the tier list, man.
All right, so Jman, about that, we've actually covered this recently. So, as we see here, there's Ishiki, there's the Jigen that kicked through the Susanos, and way down here is Code.
So we think stronger than Jigen is just stronger than base Jigen.
Who is right here.
Okay.
For several reasons.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
Well, while we're looking at it,
do you
have any contentions with anything?
Anything
on this list?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, work your way from top to bottom.
Wait.
Going down.
Wait, so Mitsuki's God? Wait, is that Mitsuki?
Well, Mitsuki
yes.
God.
Well, in the anime only. So, not manga. Ignore the manga. That's anime Mitsuki.
What does he do? What's his feats in the anime that makes him god tier?
Well, where do we start? I guess we'll start with the statements.
Please.
I mean, you are aware that Urashiki is the strongest of Sasuke, right?
Urashiki, does he claim he's the strongest of Sasuke? Because I don't think
it's not him. It's the clan who claims it.
Yeah, and
the clan claims that Urashiki's the strongest?
Well, he's revered as the strongest. Momoshiki's part of the clan. Even better.
So
the promotion for the anime specifically.
Kamui, do you have that?
No, but I'm sure it's somewhere he's gonna find.
It's somewhere. Okay, let's see if I can find it real quick. Just do revered. That is revered. Revered. Oh, here we go. Okay, I see you talking about it. Is this gonna be somewhere right up here? Okay, maybe not.
Oh, we linked it when we were talking to like Rain and stuff, did we not?
Yeah, we definitely did.
When was that? Let me just search Urashiki. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? What do I do? Okay, here. I'll just look it up on Google.
Search Urashiki strongest Satsuki. Should probably come right up.
We'll just go to images.
Yeah, okay, right it's not there, yep.
Oroshiki Otsutsuki's entrance. And Otsutsuki like Kaguya, revered as the strongest of his clan. That's all that matters. And he's standing in the way of our heroes.
Holy shit.
So, I don't think I need to remind you, Jman, who is a part of the clan.
You remember the guy, the Shibai Otsutsuki guy?
That fellow?
The Shibai guy. Yeah.
So Urashiki's known to be stronger than
oh my goodness.
So he'd be in between these two.
And if you forgot, Urashiki was scared of a flicker of Mitsuki's power.
Oh, but he's revered. How do we even know that means that... Well, I'll tell you how we know. Momoshiki knows about Shibai.
Yeah.
Well.
And he still thinks Urashiki's strong.
He still thinks Urashiki's... Man.
Oh.
I hate the whole idea of Urashiki itself, I'm not gonna lie.
No!
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that little arc in the anime. But, man, like, what episode does he say that Urashiki is the strongest?
It's not in an episode, it's in the promotion.
Oh. Okay, so he doesn't even say it himself.
He says it right here.
Where's that coming from?
It's like Shonen Jump, anime, whatever, things where they're just, like, giving you previews of the next arc or whatever.
And that's signed off by, like, Ikimoto.
Signed off by Shonen Jump or Studio Pierrot or whoever.
Even better. Signed off by Kodachi, who was working on the anime.
That is actually true.
Fuck.
The original writer.
You know, the guy who wrote the Boruto movie alongside Kishimoto.
I mean, he did manhandle Sasuke pretty neatly, man.
While laughing.
In base.
Yeah, I hated
Not even using his
Rinnegan. That was brutal, man.
And Urashiki couldn't let Mitsuki power all the way up.
So so what does this have to do with Mitsuki exactly being god tier?
Well, Urashiki's afraid of a glimpse of Mitsuki's power.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's not one.
I can't tell if you're being serious with this or not.
Well, if it makes you feel better, do you remember how, like, Orochimaru was just bodying Victor in the anime, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Victor's a Kara Inner, which is, like, low, it's in the Otsutsuki tier, Kara Inner / Otsutsuki. Orochimaru is just fondling him, not a problem. So, Orochimaru has to be bare minimum Otsutsuki tier. And Pre-Academy Mitsuki was not only just stated by Orochimaru to be stronger, but he just did completely speed blitz Orochimaru before he could even 10 seconds later he turns around. He's that much. This is pre-academy, by the way, so he just only gets stronger.
Yeah, let me emphasize that again. By pre-academy, Kamui means before episode 1 of Boruto.
That's brutal.
Yes.
Okay, wait. So how's Ryu in Kara / Otsutsuki tier if Mitsuki literally, like, ran out of chakra.
Because this is
remember
part
this
one.
anime Mitsuki. If you scroll down, Oodie, we'll show you where TBV Mitsuki is.
Yeah, so here's Sage Mitsuki and 2 Blue Vortex, and here's Base Mitsuki. Any questions?
Okay. Wait, you got Sage Mitsuki lower than Base?
You'll notice that part 1 Base Mitsuki is also above both.
So wait, why is TBV Sage Mode Mitsuki below just Base Mitsuki?
Well,
because he just seems to do worse.
I mean, Jman, do you think facts care about your feelings?
Probably not.
Did you note that Araya has better reaction feats than Sage Mitsuki?
It's right here. It's Araya.
Holy crap.
Did you know that Mitsuki has better reaction feats than Sage Mitsuki?
So how's that the case? When does this happen that he has better reaction?
It's in the Ryu fight. After Araya lost his sword, Araya's just reacting to Ryu-san, doing jutsus and everything. And then Mitsuki in a better position than Araya was in Sage Mode. He's just doing worse than base Araya was, despite it being Sage Mode Mitsuki against Ryu. In a better position than Araya was in.
Yeah, it looks like
Araya was able to form
issue,
hand signs and dodge attacks for the most part, and Mitsuki just straight up got hit.
It just got blitzed from a farther away Ryu.
Yeah, that's an interesting tier list. So, with all seriousness, you're not actually saying that Mitsuki, anime Mitsuki, is Shibai level, right? Like that's just kind of a.
It's
no. We're not. We're saying he's stronger than Shibai.
Oh my goodness!
It's seriously on the tier list.
Well, yeah, I guess if Urshiki is the strongest Otsutsuki in the clan, then and he's fearing Mitsuki's Sage Mode, like I mean, I guess, man, like it all makes sense.
He wouldn't let Mitsuki use his power, but he was perfectly fine with letting Sasuke use it.
I mean, do you have a counter? Try and debunk it. Good luck. We wish we could.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like why is Urshiki even like considered canon at this point?
Kishimoto wrote him.
Oh, that's right, because they did the whole anniversary shit with younger Naruto and Boruto.
He was also like gonna be in the movie originally.
Yeah,
they just ultimately cut him from the movie.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. That is what I was referencing, but I'm glad you gave me even more evidence.
Okay, well Urshiki is stronger than Shibai then, because he is the strongest Otsutsuki according to Shonen Jump.
Yeah.
So I guess that makes sense.
Okay.
And Shonen Jump owns Naruto, and V-Jump owns Boruto, but whichever Jump it was that produced this statement, they own the series.
So why do you think anime Mitsuki is different from?
Well, I don't even need you to finish your question.
You're gonna love my answer. Ikimoto.
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, here's Kodachi's Mitsuki, and here is Ikimoto's Mitsuki.
Wow.
You see the difference.
Yeah, a little bit of inconsistency there.
Part 1 base Mitsuki, that's also Kodachi's Mitsuki, and not Ikimoto's.
Yikes.
Yeah, but of course, since this is a 2 Blue Vortex tier list, we wanted to include current Naruto and Sasuke on this list. I would say Sasuke is currently a little bit stronger than Naruto.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
But they're not that much behind base TBV Kawaki.
Which I love that they're relative to this.
Wait, so Sumire is above them?
Well, yeah, I mean, you've watched the Academy arc in the beginning of Boruto anime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just over, basically. I mean, think about it. Right. Academy Sumire just was tuning level, and Chocho is tuning level, and Kawaki is getting fondled by a claw grind.
Well, I do want to just emphasize.
Chocho's like the holograms are light work, so.
Yeah, maybe just reiterate for you. This is current Naruto and Sasuke in their current forms.
Right. Oh, so Sasuke is just a tree now? Like,
So
he's literally can't do anything else.
Naruto is frozen in time.
That's funny. Yeah. They literally can't do anything.
And they're relative to
and they're
TVV
relative to Kawaki.
Relative to Kawaki, too. I mean, come on, guys. I think we're doing Kawaki a little dirty here. To be honest. We're doing Kawaki a little dirty.
Well, it's not us. It's Ikimoto.
Yeah.
This is probably the most joke entry on this. Kawaki.
Yeah. Where would you scale Sarada, though, Jman? So
not Mangekyo.
She's a very controversial figure. Yeah, so just like 3 Tomoe Sarada. The Sarada that fought Hidari.
Wait, so you're putting Sarada above Karma Kawaki? Or this is I guess this is like when Amato like adjusts his Karma mark to be like more defensive or whatnot.
Yeah, so it's the limited Kawaki still.
Man. Like, so we only see her face off against Grimes, and then we see her face off against Ryu, right? Do we see anything else in TVV? Oh yeah, and Hidari, and then Boruto. But that's like partly Boruto too, like.
Yeah.
All of Sarada's feats against Hidari, though, don't involve Boruto. She might as well not be there for everything she does do.
Sarada has been the most controversial and heated power scaling figure in all of Tupu Vortex. Himawari's up there as well, but that was a little more vague.
Kawaki too, I think. I think it's a decent number of people, but
that's fair. We make Mitsuki up there, but I think Sarada from the community's perspective.
I'll be right back. I just gotta move my car.
All right. He's moving his car. That's very interesting to do.
No, I'm curious. He probably had someone come home at his house and they need a park or something.
Yeah. Okay. We could probably move on to a different topic if you want, Kamui.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna go get some water.
Oof. Okay.
Let you present the next topic.
Okay, so sure. Then let me. Here we'll go to. We'll switch back and forth between Naruto and Boruto. We'll go to Naruto again. Oh God, what is that? Here could be a fun one to do, Jman. So, can you listen, by the way, Kamui, right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So Kamui. I don't know if Jman can hear, but I'm sure it'll be fine whenever he gets back. So, Kamui. Okay, Kamui, are you looking for anything right now?
No, but I can.
Oh, I thought you said you were. But I guess you're not.
Well, you can just do the one right above it.
Okay.
Is Chakra visible or not? So, Dabuza's saying, I can almost see the chakra in his palm. It's like a really condensed chakra for Chidori. It's even got lightning style. It's literally lightning. He can almost see it. Next scan. So Jiraiya shows Naruto the Rasengan for the first time. That was no ordinary palm press. What the heck was that jutsu just? No, but remind you. Palm press.
There we go.
He thinks he did a palm press. So from what we understand, he thinks Jiraiya just slapped the guy. Next page.
Can I just say, I think this is already wrong in interpretation, but I know you go for it.
So what did the jutsu look like to you? It seems like the enemy was spun around a lot. No mention of what Jiraiya did. Just the enemy was spun around a lot. And then finally, I used the tiniest amount of chakra to keep it invisible, but you figured it out. So she had to use the minimalist amount of chakra to make sure Sasori couldn't see a chakra string. So is chakra normally visible or not? Like, she's worried that Sasori's going to see her thin ass threads, but Naruto can't see the Rasengan.
Okay, this one is weird. Jman, any thoughts on this one?
Oh god. So you're asking Kamui if Chakra is like can be invisible or not, or is it just always visible?
Is it? No, so obviously, there's going to be certain aspects of where it might be invisible or it might not. But like generally speaking, is Chakra visible or not? Because what I would have said is, well, maybe it's normally
visible, right?
invisible unless it's highly like concentrated, highly compressed, or just super strong, like a tailed beast or something. But Granny Chio needs to use as little chakra as possible to make sure her thin ass threads are invisible, which would imply that usually it's visible. She has to go out of her way to make it invisible. But like, no, Naruto, the whole point of the Vanishing Rasengan is that it is invisible. So the regular Rasengan should be visible. If it's not, there's no benefit to the Vanishing Rasengan. It's already invisible.
Right.
But then why does Naruto seemingly not see it? And why can Sabusa barely see the Chidori?
Well, let me throw a real wrench in this plan real quick. She's not saying she used the tiniest amount of chakra to make it invisible, but to maintain its invisibility. Yeah, to keep it invisible.
How does that make sense?
Well, it was already invisible, and it would have been visible had she not kept it invisible.
Why would it have become visible?
It's a chakra thread.
Yeah, are chakra threads just always visible then, for the most part?
I guess. So, do they have anywhere to where they explicitly explain chakra threads to see exactly what they say? Because it is just chakra, right? I mean,
It's just chakra strings. Like,
it's not like they're running chakra through like a actual physical string of yarn or something. No, it is just chakra.
Yeah, but then again, like when Kankuro freaking flips Naruto over in their opening scene, it just seems like those threats were invisible. I don't know.
Maybe he was using the tiniest amount of chakra to keep it invisible.
I just want to say, underrated thing Kankuro should have done more often. I'm sorry. That was just cool. He just flipped Naruto over with Puppet Master Jutsu.
I mean, at the very least, okay, well, the camouflage clam from the war arc, Tsuchikage, second Tsuchikage's clam turns invisible. It can do that. It has chakra, right? Is it chakra based, or is it just clam shenanigans?
It was clam, mirage, genjutsu, shadow style, whatever shenanigans.
Yeah, but like, that requires chakra.
But not the tiniest amount.
I mean, okay. So, going back to this interpretation of, oh, there's no ordinary palm strike, he doesn't know the name of the Rasengan yet. I don't think it's because he thought it was a palm strike. I think he knows it isn't a palm strike because he saw the Rasengan. He just doesn't know what it's called. And the palm strike's the closest thing to what it would look like.
I mean, I think he'd be like, oh, what the heck was that ball?
I mean, maybe, but he has also already seen Gentle Fist. There's something like that, at least.
Yeah, but Gentle Fist doesn't make the enemies spin.
Which
but now
is
that it's the Rasengan in any other scene.
Which is why it's no ordinary palm strike.
Yeah, so he thinks it's a palm strike.
It's an ordinary palm strike.
Yeah.
No, but I don't think he is saying it's an unordinary palm strike. I think he's saying it isn't a palm strike. At least that is what I do think it is trying to say.
So what do you think of the next scan when he just only mentions the enemy spinning?
It's like, that's just stupid. It's just nitpicking.
Just a noob.
Look like for you, it seemed like the enemy was spun around a lot. Oh, well, to be fair, Kamui, let me debunk that right now. The jutsu did not look like that. The enemy did, so he's not answering the question.
Well, no, he couldn't see the jutsu, so we did the next best thing.
Well, no, because Jiraiya is confirming it was a jutsu. So Naruto would have said,
no,
I can't
it's
see
extra funny if he asks you, what did the jutsu look like to you? And he can't see the jutsu.
Exactly.
It looked like nothing.
Yeah. Or even better, they just have the speech bubble like widened out.
That's what it looked like.
Oh, also, this is funny. It's saying his line of sight's a bit off. Is that like a saying, a Japanese saying or something? Or is he saying that Naruto literally couldn't see it? Jiraiya's back was in the way.
Well, maybe what he means is his line of sight. So Naruto was looking at the guy, not the jutsu.
Stupid. Like if Naruto had the Rinnegan, maybe he would have seen it through the link vision.
Yeah, because the osteopath would have.
I mean, what's the consensus here? Jman, are we saying that Chakra is visible or not?
I mean, like Kamui said earlier, I think Chakra can be visible if it.
Okay, well, is it something
necessarily has? I don't think Chakra necessarily has to be like visible all the time, I guess, but I didn't know it would take Chakra to make Chakra invisible. So that's like, I'm kind of confused, man. Especially like with that granny panel.
Yeah, that's the weird one. Now,
maybe it's just the fact that Chakra strings are just always visible, so she has to use Chakra to make it invisible for that specific case. But
yeah, we know that Asuma can like amp his kunai to be like wind style and cut from a longer distance and cut sharper and all that. Same with Danzo, he uses wind style to amplify his ninja tools. I think what would be pretty cool as like a little bit of a rewrite, not saying that they should have done this, but like someone like Chio maybe could have done this, to where rather than what she did here, because I'm not saying she did this here, someone at some point could camouflage the kunai and chakra to throw an invisible kunai just to hit someone. Basically, the vanishing Rasengan. Just hit someone off guard. They didn't even know the attack was coming. Yeah. Oh, the kunai, exactly.
They use Koji's Genjutsu cave trick on the kunai.
That could be cool. Like hitting them like in between the eyes or something. It's basically similar in concept, at least, not really, but kind of functionally similar to like Hunter x Hunter. Killua grabbing the, or not grabbing, but like I guess just the fish, the swordfish hitting Killua.
Yeah, you just want to see him hit at the forehead the same way. It's not anything similar at all. But I was gonna say it's similar to be like Sasuke with closing Danzo's eye, but in this case, there'd always be like he let Danzo see a bunch of kunai, except all but one kunai would be invisible in the Genjutsu. So one invisible kunai, the rest are visible, and he would kind of get Danzo used to dodging kunai, and then he'd be hit by one invisible one without realizing it.
I like that. Jman, is there any scene that you would have used this in?
Like used invisible chakra?
The invisible kunai trick.
The invisible kunai, oh.
But hey, if you want to use invisible chakra anywhere, I mean, hey, feel free.
I mean, wouldn't that be great for like, I mean, I guess people don't really touch Minato's markings with Flying Raijin, so I guess you wouldn't be able to do that because it wouldn't technically be invisible if there's still a marking on the kunai, right? So it'd just be like a flying marking.
Well, what I'm imagining is the kunai is almost like a mirror in a sense, to where you just can't see what's inside of like the bubble of chakra.
Could Mu use his ability on a kunai?
You remember Mu the
just have a bunch of invisible weapons.
Oh no, even better. He uses it on his particle style. You just die and you don't even know it.
I mean, Mu low-key could just be the off-guard king with this. He can't be sensed. He can't be seen. He just has no invisible juice.
I forget. Could Dawn make his spirit transformation invisible?
if you use Moo's technique, you probably actually can't even see his ghost as it goes.
Exactly. I
No,
think
because Madara either
so.
Don speed blitz Madara that bad, or Madara just couldn't see the ghost. He just didn't see Don.
I definitely like the idea you speed blitz them from across the world. I think one of the audiobooks things said it is invisible, but I could be wrong. I think somewhere this could be cool is either Kakashi, whenever he's chasing down Deidara with Naruto, or Naruto does this to catch Deidara off guard. So, like, probably before the Kamui moment, like, the invisible kunai trick didn't work on Deidara, so he has to resort to his last resort, which is Kamui. That could be cool on Kakashi's part. Or it could just be Naruto's way to get Deidara off the bird.
Okay. So this, makes no sense in order-wise, because I feel like if we're going to have Sasuke do this thing against Deidara, I almost want him to do the successfully against Danzo first, and then Deidara, he tries to do a similar thing, but it's the kunai now. Deidara reveals he can see through the Genjutsu.
Oh, because his eye.
That's the revelation.
That's cool. Like,
but
Delta
you need to have
can
the
see the
Danzo
invisible.
one first.
Yeah, just like Delta can see the invisible Rasengan. We just have freaking bro's eye can see the invisible kunai.
Yeah, it's like a revelation. But like, I want him to have it successful against Danzo first, not the other way around.
Well, why would you have it successful against Danzo and then fail against Deidara?
So I want it to be like a thing to where Sasuke does it, it works, and he tries to do the same trick again, and then it's like, oh no, Deidara can see through it. You know.
Oh, I was seeing it the other way around, where Sasuke fails the trick and then improves it, or realizes who he can and can't use it again, so it succeeds the second time.
I guess.
Well, Kamui, in that case, it would be just like the... Oh, you already deleted the topic.
But the fire style jutsu?
What is it? The Blaze of Glory jutsu that he failed against Haku.
He never used again. Yeah, so if it doesn't work on Deidara, he just won't use it on Danzo.
Oh, well, I was going to say it failed against Haku, but it succeeded against Naruto on the rooftop.
Except it wasn't this jutsu.
Yeah, Viz got it wrong.
Oh, you double checked, didn't you?
Ignore me.
But anyway, next topic.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna move this to you, Stacy. Wait, actually, what's this? Do I just keep doing a bunch of mine, or?
I mean, we could, whichever ones you want. Jman, if you have a topic,
let me
feel
just
free.
move this over to you real quick.
Okay.
This is so annoying, I'm not gonna lie. What's this Orochimaru one? Oh yeah, okay. I'll go back to Naruto topics. The one with the Orochimaru images. There you go. So, did Kishimoto break his own lore? LOL. I checked the Fortos fight to give it the benefit of the doubt, but I'm sorry. That just is a Bijuu bomb and a perfect sphere.
God.
So, Killer Bee and Gyuki both repeatedly tell Naruto that the Tail Beast bomb is impossible without Bijuu transformation. Blah, blah, blah. Like, Killer Bee only ever does it in version Tail Beast form. He never does it in version 2 or anything. But if we recall in the Orochimaru versus Four Tails fight, next image. So he makes a perfect sphere. Just keep going, he does eat it, but the Bijuu put in their mouths anyway. He farts a little bit, and then
okay, cowboy. Whatever.
Yeah. And then boom, Bijuu bomb.
So, I have something for you. So I don't know if this was a joke or if he was being disingenuous or if he really just meant this, but at one point in time, Thunder God said, he must have just forgot. This must have been a joke that I just didn't understand. Thunder God said that the reason Naruto was hurt after using the Four Tails was because of this. Because the Bijuu bomb exploded inside of the Four Tails, and Naruto is inside the Four Tails. So Naruto got hurt.
Yeah, but I mean, the majority of the Bijuu bomb definitely didn't explode inside him.
Well, the real answer is...
We're going to compare the ratio.
The real answer is this did absolutely nothing in terms of hurting Naruto.
Yeah.
Sure, we're all...
The Four Tails seemed perfectly fine for the rest of this fight.
So what does Killer Bee say exactly about this?
They both just repeatedly say you can't do it in anything other than Tail Beast mode. It's actually the 8 Tails talking at the top. It says it's impossible without Bijuu transformation. And maybe C, they're telling Naruto you can't use it in KCM. B never uses it in version 2. Tail Beast transformation only.
Well, would you argue this is a Bijuu transformation?
Transformation, I was about to say.
It's not Bijuu mode.
Kamui, I think your argument is poo.
Well, I think it's poo. Why is there like a space? Is it a big space?
Why is Datara here? Okay. But anyways.
Yes. All right. You get to pick the next one.
Okay. Let's see if we have Jman specific topics. Maybe not.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so annoying copying all 4 images over.
You got this. Okay, here's one we could do with Jman. Which of the Edo Jinchuriki were the strongest? And which ones were the weakest? And what if we threw a hypothetical Edo Gara in there? And also, what about an Edo B?
Wouldn't it be Edo B then?
I mean, keep in mind, this isn't which Jinchuriki is the strongest, but Edo Jinchuriki. And that technically does matter because, oh, well, all the Jinchuriki are nerfed because they're Edo Tensei, because all Edo Tensei are nerfed, but they also have all Rinnegan, and that might play a difference depending on Rinnegan compatibility.
Well, what I was going to say is...
conditions, like Itachi was sick. Nagato was sick.
What I was going to say, though, is they're all basically perfect Jinchuriki because of Obito anyway.
Exactly.
So now it just comes down into their abilities, how Edo Tensei can play into things. So, with Gaara, his abilities moveset basically allows him to not get hurt in the first place. So, I mean, yeah, if he gets hurt, he just Edo Tensei heals anyway. But, like, most of his... I mean, would he just... You could argue, though, with Gaara, though, because he's Edo Tensei, he can just funnel all of his sand into offense, like giant sand tsunamis with no defense, because he doesn't need to protect himself, and that could be a huge advantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Okay, I hate to derail to this. Do we think Edo Gaara would have his mom protecting him?
I'm just going to say yes.
Okay, Jman, thoughts? I'm going to say no.
I don't really know, to be honest.
His mom's in the sand. If he's got that same gourd, I think his mom's still there.
Yeah, if he still has that, then it should, right?
I mean, would his mom care?
You know what I just realized?
Well,
is that why his mom's not protecting him in Boruto? Because he changed to the stupid gourd instead of the actual good one?
Jman, have you seen Gaara's gourd in Boruto? Because it is ridiculous. Let's see, where can we see it easily? Here we go. Kind of seeing it.
It's that one. In the anime, he's got like a little mini jar.
It's more ridiculous than it looks here, though. I want to see it in all its glory. Kamui, if you want, maybe go pull it up, since you know I'm never going to find it.
I mean, it depends on when exactly you want to look for, like what scene.
You could go with chapter like 9 or whatever when he's fighting Momoshiki, or you could go when he's sealed against Matsuri. Either one. Let me just not endlessly scroll Doom-wise. Oh, wait, is this it? No. But it definitely looks ridiculous. Oh, should have been here, but I'll... Gord.
Oh, post his Matsuri one in chat in a second.
Yeah, well, there's anime versus manga. At the very least.
Oh, well, I posted in chat.
Oh, you post? Okay. The one when he's like sealed, but I guess this kind of works, kind of. But yeah, the one when he's sealed is like the best to show it off, because it has like the black background or whatever. But I mean, at the very least, you can see it.
Okay, I see what you're going for. Oops. There.
There we go. So a little bit different. I don't even know why he got it. Well, maybe it's like to parallel like Kushina's scarf that she left for Naruto in Naruto the Last. Just randomly, his mom left him a gourd. He found it 20 years later.
That would be funny though.
I don't know. But yeah, so the Edo Jinchuriki.
I mean, of the ones we saw, like, so okay, let's like narrow down, remove some people. So I'm gonna go on limit, say it's not Yukito. But what we saw, it wasn't Fu.
Okay.
You can make okay. Roshi seems to be stronger in the Kisame fight than he does as an Edo Jinchuriki because he just doesn't use the lava style form.
I mean,
so
the lava just literally hits Naruto and it just like kind of burns him, but he's fine.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say not Roshi either.
Han
you could make some arguments for Yagura.
Yeah, I was gonna say Yagura, probably one of the stronger ones.
Yagura's got some arguments. Han with his boil release has some arguments. Utakata, if you use the pain fight blue slimy form, it's got some arguments. I think Gaara would have arguments.
Okay.
B as well. B is mostly just going to be strength, though, less than abilities in this case. Because how much stronger, his version 2 is compared to the others. Because he doesn't have the hacks that, like, Gaara, Yagura, and Han will, or Utakata will.
Yeah. I mean, their unique abilities are definitely a thing that set them apart. You could also argue some of them got exponentially... Because I would say, honestly, I think all the Edo Jinchuriki are relative. Because I think they're all boosted up to a similar level of power because of Obito's Rinnegan 6-path shenanigans, making them like this or whatever.
It depends on whether... The problem is, though, I don't know... Outside of, like, the shared vision, ignoring shared vision and Sharingan Precog, ignoring that for a moment, I don't think they got actual physical amps because what he's using is the 6-paths technique that projects the Rinnegan eye. It's not like they have literal Madara's Rinnegan in their eyes, so they're not getting, like, a power buff from that.
Well, Kamui.
They're just going to get the shared vision and Precog aspects.
Would you say Yahiko was just naturally Sage Naruto levels of speed?
It might have been.
What about the animal path
but there
girl
is
from the tuning exams?
Difference though, because Obito's doing it to Jinchuriki, which is weird anyway. But like, because they're Edo Jinchuriki, so like,
okay,
they're at their Edo Tensei. I mean, I don't. It's weird because Nagato's specifically using them as the sick paths of pain. Obito's not. He just gave them those eyes and isn't using them. I don't think he's funneling much into them. I mean, he's going out of his way to not use the Rinnegan abilities and the shit. He's not using Sharingan Genjutsu with them, so I don't think he's funneling much power into them.
Well, I forget. They didn't have the rods in them, right? Only the Tail Beast did? But, like, how does that make sense?
I think they had tiny rods in like their back, but then when they were tail beasts, it was really the rods just grew with them, and then it was
that
easy.
Obviously doesn't make sense since we saw that didn't happen with Naruto. Obviously, Naruto wasn't a six path; he was only pinned down by the rods, but the rods just like went out of him, similar to Haku's Senbon.
Yeah. But like the Edo Tensei weren't resisting, so I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
Oh, but Jman, do you have any contenders for strongest or weakest?
Well, yeah. Initially, I said B, but I guess because he not have the 8 tails with him then in Edo? It's just like base B as Edo.
We'll say that they have the Tail Beast, but they're not able to use Tail Beast transformation. But they are able to use the Tail Beast specific powers. Like, B can do whatever base B can do normally.
Oh, wait,
like
sorry, are they able to use version 2 or no?
No, we'll just say they're like base forms, but they're allowed to use the powers.
That's gonna influence things for sure. Okay.
Well, but like Han can still use like his like vapor mode or whatever, lava style from.
Yeah, but honestly, man, I don't know. I'm starting to lose hope in Han.
I mean, Yugito can use his mirrors, because otherwise it just turns into which tailed beast is the strongest.
Yeah. I mean, Killer B with his 8 swords is actually pretty whack, but like, I just don't see what he's gonna do to Gaara. Like, is he fast enough and base this outspeed Gaara? But Gaara's Edo Tensei, it doesn't matter. Gaara can seal people too, so let's get that going for.
Would or could Edo B even use the 8 swords? Like his like instinctive activated or whatever Edo Tensei that autonomously moves on its own. I don't think it even would do that, even if B wanted it to. And hypothetically, if it did, I don't think the autonomous nature of it would be as good as if B could just focus and actually just choose to do it himself. Like, I don't know how that works. I just can't imagine it being as effective. This is ridiculous. Which, by the way, on that, I don't care how much faster B was than Sasuke. It's ridiculous B can do that without a Sharingan, and he beat Sasuke who had the Sharingan. We're just tracking the swords. It's just too much. It's ridiculous. Like, if anything, it could have been really cool if B was using Gyuki's tentacles as this perfect Jinchuriki, and then it's kind of like a callback to Sasuke fighting Naruto at the end of part 1, and then Naruto's 9-tailed chakra is like it has a mind of its own. They could definitely do something with that here. They didn't. Not saying they should have, but they definitely could have.
They could have, yeah. But either way, honestly, I feel like maybe I'm just biased, but I just feel like my top 3 right now are Gaara, Yagura, and Utakata.
Utakata is freaking awesome. I love Utakata.
He's got bubble explosions, his slimy, slithery mode, corrosive acid thing. Yagura's just gonna spit out a mirror and reflect your attack.
Yeah, Yagura's the one that technically scales up infinitely. He'll just make a clone of you. Doesn't matter how strong you are. It's just you're fighting yourself along with Yagura on top of that. So by default, Yagura's gonna be
like, I don't really know like how are you gonna beat Yagura? How do you lose?
Exactly.
It's gonna get jutsu.
I mean, if that's not enough, Yagura just did immobilize Naruto, I think, better than any of their Jinchuriki. I'm not going to say it hurt Naruto, but the weird, like, conch shell growth on Naruto's back, like, Naruto wasn't getting out of that on his own. So.
I mean, he's also, just like Gaara, became a young Kage, but unlike Gaara, I don't know if it's because there just was no Kage, or he just became it. He just did didn't befriend his tail beast, but he just did beat it up and tame it, I guess. Like, just one. So he's stronger than a tail beast. He's a young Kage.
I mean, it seems like there was a lot of assassination attempts on Yagura, and nobody could do it.
Yeah, like...
I mean, freaking Obito with his
Koto
jutsu
by Obito is like the thing. Like...
And if you really want to use this, you could use that anime-only scene of Yagura confronting Pain. Upscale him that way.
I don't remember that. I remember Itachi and Juzo.
Well, no, Pain was
with
Obito.
I know what you mean. Okay, it's when Obito Genjutsu Yagura with Konan and Pain. Okay, yes. Yeah, he confronted all three of them.
Exactly. Where is he really scaling? God. Yeah. He's my number one.
Was he? Did a 3v1?
Outside of that, I guess my second
honestly, I think at this point, just go with Yagura. Even though I feel like Gaara actually has a really solid chance, I might just have to pick Yagura.
Yeah. That said, I do think Yukito is a sleeper pick because she is agile, kind of like Wasabi. Especially, I think her thing was specifically in the trees, the treetops. She was best fighting there because she was agile like a cat, so she could like jump between the trees and be extra fast there. But besides that, I think she did have a really hard-hitting, cutting slash that did more damage than pretty much any other of these Edo Jinchuriki techniques.
But look. I know I'm being mean, but do you think Hidan and Kakuzu can beat Yagura? Because they beat Yukito with the full Two Tails mode.
Yeah, but then Yukito scaling up to like freaking KCM Naruto or something. So I do think that she got stronger through six paths nonsense.
Well, maybe Hidan and Kakuzu just are that strong.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I think she definitely is obviously being amped considering she has a Rinnegan and a Sharingan.
No, but again, those are fake eyes, so they're just, it's going to give her the precog and shared vision, but...
Which is an amp.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's not like Obito having Madara's Rinnegan. It's not the same.
At the very least, if you don't want to say that she's any faster, then she's effectively faster, because if you remember, Sasuke was able to keep up with Naruto in their final fight.
Yeah,
even though Naruto was arguably technically faster. It's because precog allowed him to keep up and even counter despite him being faster. So he's effectively faster. Yeah. Anyway.
I still want to go with Yager at this point.
Okay, I'm down. Do you want to do a Naruto topic or a Boruto topic? Jman, you're the guest. I'll let you choose.
Let's do a Boruto topic.
Okay.
Well, okay. This is hilarious. But I have some add-ons to the Singularity of Fate thing.
Is this?
No, it says adding on to the Singularity of Fate thing.
Okay, is that at the bottom? Is it at the top? Or
it's a great question.
Okay, I'll just write adding on. Oh, you know what? I think it is at the bottom because I remember you typing it. Yeah, it's the very last thing.
Nope, not that one.
Oh, never mind. Okay. Let me just do Singularity of Fate. Let me just do
Singularity. Okay. There we go. Okay. So adding on to the Singularity of Fate thing, even if Boruto did tell Kawaki stuff behind Koji's back, Koji should still be able to see the new paths created from Boruto doing that, right? Koji doesn't know what will happen when he tells people about the future, but once he does tell them, he should be able to see the new futures, I would assume, right? Like, after he tells them, he sees a new set of futures, right? If so, this means that even if Kawaki does show up, that still shouldn't be enough to keep Boruto alive, because Koji should have seen it. Because Boruto told Kawaki about the limiters, like, a day ago or whatever. However, since Ada hasn't told Damon to go there yet, this wouldn't be something Koji can foresee, since Ada wouldn't ever think to do this unless she was a singularity of fate who knew that Boruto was going to die versus Jura. Also, when Koji said to follow your heart to Shikamaru, it resonated with Ada the most. They literally had like Ada specifically thinking in her head, follow your heart, huh? And Koji said this because he wanted Shikamaru to make his own decisions and not just have Koji tell him to do everything, because he trusted Shikamaru to make good decisions. He doesn't want to make it too much of a singularity, blah, blah, blah. So Ada should probably do the same. She does her own decisions that end up being good. She follows her heart like Koji wanted.
So, whereas I completely agree with you, and I disagree with the counter I'm about to say to you, there is a counter.
Okay.
We don't know when the last time Koji used 10 directions was.
Yeah, I agree. But
neither of us like that as an answer.
Yeah. So
I mean,
bad.
we don't even know how 10 directions works. Is it something he has to actively use? In which case, is there a cooldown? Is he just passively always having it on, similar to Ada's love charm? Is it something that he has to like blank out for, or can he just watch it at the same time as being like conscious or whatever? Does time stop?
I mean, the
when
way
he looks
that
at
he's
it?
just constantly bringing up new things makes me feel like he's either just constantly using it or it just always is on for him. Like,
exactly.
I don't know.
I mean, it didn't seem
I thought
like
it was just more of a passive thing that he could just like use whenever he pleases. Like it's like almost always on.
I think so as well, especially when you look at the very first time he used it against Ishiki. It's not like he was like spacing out then. So.
Exactly, it all happened in it's like, if we're gonna take it into account, it happened in the
so.
time that Ishiki was drinking his wine or something, like.
And Koji didn't even mean to use it, which tells me at the very least that instance was unconsciously using it.
Yeah.
So I don't see any reason why he couldn't just spam it. It's supposed to be better than Momoshiki's future sight, which he can use at any time. For whatever reason.
It'd also just be unparalleled levels of stupid to just not be like updating it with every new thing that happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is exactly why Ikimoto's gonna ruin Koji.
Well, speaking of ruining, okay, so
it's awful.
Oh, I have so many topics.
That have to do with the
So
ruining.
scroll down a little bit. I need to start cooking some food soon, so I might have to start having you help me out. You know what? Hey, you read whatever this is.
I was hoping you would say that.
Yeah, okay, just read the Twitter thread stuff while I go cook.
Alright, so for context, so Jman, last stream, I was debating some Kaguya stuff with Kamui, and we got on a specific topic about whether or not Kaguya looked human or not. Before looking at anything, what do you think about that whole idea?
Kaguya doesn't look human in my opinion.
Well, what did you think? Okay, good
Is
to
that
hear
the right
it. Wow.
opinion, or?
Well, I agreed with you on the previous stream. So what this person here says, DK on Twitter, shout out DK. I love you, DK. You should become a buy. So we got J-Man, do you want to say this word?
Dumbasses.
In 2025. Saying Kaguya wasn't originally supposed to be an alien when she literally looks like this laughing emoji, and that's what she looks like. Reading comprehension.
There were some people arguing
with the dead.
I think there were some people arguing in the Twitter thread on I posted like a couple of these, so.
Well, I'll say I've never felt more validated in my life. I'm so happy. So awesome.
I mean, obviously, when we were doing this debate, I was completely being nonsensical with the
I'm being overly mean. I know that you posted this just to make me feel good. It's not like I'm so pathetic. Oh, I can't believe it. I know that it's just funny. It's like you were scrolling on Twitter after. It's like, oh my god, this is what we just talked about.
I just saw it. I know.
That's so funny.
I thought it's funny.
Yeah, exactly. I love it.
But if you click on the thread, I think there were some people like arguing in it.
Okay, well, let's find out what people say. People who disagree with me and Jman. Find me the page where Kaguya says she's from a different planet, then we can talk.
Wait, but doesn't she like create her army to fight off people from outside of the planet?
Yes. And Naruto asks Hagoromo where Kaguya is from, and he says, not from this world, but from somewhere far away.
Right.
Okay, we're answering this question as if it matters. This doesn't act as a proper response. It's just unrelated to the topic of her looking like an alien. Doesn't matter where she's from.
Yeah.
TK says,
does Sakura and Ukon in Curse Mark 2 look like a human?
No, they look like a demon.
Are Sakura and Ukon human?
Yes.
Okay. So you see the problem.
Well, you could argue in Curse Mark 2 they aren't human. You could make the argument.
Okay, what if Kaguya is using Curse Mark 2?
I can't prove she's not. But I'm willing to say the story isn't giving me that impression.
Well, what if she's using Jugos and Kekkei Genkai throughout Progress Session Kaguya anyway? And that's what makes Kaguya so insane.
And she's unfathomable nature energy since she is the Ten Tails.
Exactly, so she's crazy.
I drastically want to read DK's comment here.
Yeah.
You're the kind of guy who has to be handed out everything because you can't figure out stuff yourself, lol. If it wasn't obvious from her name alone, or from her literal physical appearance.
I think this might have been the thread where people were like eventually they were like arguing over like Kishimoto and Kodachi writing stuff, and then like it got pretty heated at one point because I commented one. I was like, Kodachi wrote the novel, Kishimoto Kodachi co-wrote the movie. I was just correcting someone who got it wrong, and then like the person calling someone a retard. I got tagged in it.
Oh my god.
I was like, bro, if I can find.
Yeah, because I can't find what you're talking about. Man, this Nobu guy is really going off. He's the main bread runner against this one.
Okay, I'm just gonna take a bunch of screenshots just so that I can stay up away.
A page in the Naruto manga where it says that Kaguya clan are aliens.
Okay, I'll just post in chat these images. This is just the part where I like just commented on one little thing.
Why did he look up Daigo? I think we are the aliens. I mean, Otsutskis have been there for more humans have been in the universe. So. Okay. To be fair,
wait, hold on. I got a couple more after.
Sage the Programmer is a crazy name.
I know that threw me off at first.
Programmer.
As per his then Boruto villain shouldn't be aliens. They're also gods then. Jake Cole is also a weird name. What show was you watching? Kaguya's an alien, godlike being from a distant land, imagination diffed.
Guy's retarded.
Crazy.
Wow. So what they think she's just like a god or like a demon or something instead of being an alien?
She's a girl. Kaguya's a princess. Didn't you read Naruto?
So they think she's a human.
I think they must be just going off like the Madara story that was proven wrong. That's my best guess.
Funny how people ignore the fact that there's a Kaguya clan in Naruto. Yeah, you know who isn't a part of the Kaguya clan? Kaguya! With 2 moons on their foreheads, they were fully human. Well, were they fully human? Also, even in the original tale, Kaguya wasn't an alien, she was a moon spirit, not some sci-fi alien from another planet. Well, I'm glad he's clarifying. In the original tale, yeah, she was.
And you know who didn't write the original tale? Kishimoto. Kishimoto wrote everything.
You need to go to kindergarten again to learn how punctuation works. Yeah, so I don't know which comment you were looking at, Kami. Maybe they deleted it. Oh, here's one from Ikimoto. You probably posted on this one.
Twitter's just stupid.
I agree. Hey, I found your comment! Kishimoto and Kodachi co-wrote the movie. Kodachi wrote the novel by himself. That's probably in response to one of these people.
Well, just click my images. I sent images in chat.
Yeah. You just want me to acknowledge your hard work.
So then you can get to the recharge.
Okay. Actually, no, she's not. It was an idea from Ikimoto to make the Otsutsuki clan aliens. Kishimoto said that he left Ikimoto choose what to do with them. Check the interview they had in France this summer.
So I was curious about that. We need to double check that. I don't think that was in the interview.
Well, I mean, not to do with the Otsutsuki. It's to do with the Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, really. Definitely didn't have to do with part 1 ending of Naruto.
Well, I think the argument's just going to be that Boruto did all that, and that's not in Naruto, is what they're arguing.
What about Boruto, Naruto, the movie? You know, the Naruto movie?
So I think they were arguing that was Ikimoto at first.
It was not. Why are you lying? They were already aliens before the concept of a Boruto manga created. That really is never specified, nor was implied, nor nothing. Literally implied when Momoshiki was said to devour planets in the Boruto movie novelization. What the F? Where you think Momoshiki was when he floating on top of Earth with Kinshiki in the Boruto movie in 2015, Ikimoto is just confirming what Kishimoto already started. Kishimoto did not state he quite literally said that he left the decision to Ikimoto, meaning that he had no decision about what they were. Also, did Kishimoto even write the novel, or was it Kodachi? You know, he's just misinterpreting the interview. He literally co-wrote the Boruto novel with Kodachi. He never left anything ambiguous. Toneri was literally living on the moon, which normal human does that. So it doesn't change the fact Kishimoto intended for them to be aliens from the jump. Okay. Well, that was definitely a topic. Let's go back to Boruto topics.
Interesting.
I forgot to see the retard one.
We already did.
Oh.
I could have sworn there were Jman topics in Boruto topics. You ready to search, dude? In Boruto topics. Jman. Huh. Not Naruto topics. I don't know how to do this.
Maybe we can just move on to my Himawari host.
I guess not. Okay.
I can't see right now. I'm washing my hands, but there's more than one. So we can start with the first one, and then more recent one second.
With what now? The Himawari thing?
Yeah, there's 2 of them though. So do the older one.
Oh, okay. So the 2 things?
Oh wait, no, that's not Himawari, but we can do that too.
Okay. So.
1 second though.
Do you want me to read
you
it?
might just read it for me. Read it for me.
Okay. So, two things. One, Boruto was stabbed, right? That's why he coughed up blood, right? So why doesn't it seem like he got stabbed as soon as he blew the wood away? So as you see,
Let's take a look.
there. As you see here.
So it just seems like there's just no signs of it being damaged after that.
Yeah,
Well, Kamui, he's Otsutsuki. He healed.
No.
Buddy.
It doesn't work that way.
It was just fine.
What?
That's crazy.
Really starting to wonder if Joker is going to kill him in this edition.
I can't wait for him to say that his healing's even better than Himawari's.
Yeah.
But that's one thing. For the other thing, Boruto was stabbed by Jura's wood style and blatantly performed jutsu. Doesn't this mean Inojine's halted chakra flow pretty much has to be because of Himawari? But then, why was Boruto able to use jutsu after Jura sniped him and Himawari healed him in chapter 14? I'm assuming Sakura healed Inojin before Boruto, right? So on that last point, I don't think Sakura ever was near Boruto in this regard. I don't think she...
Yeah, exactly. But my point is, if she healed Boruto, I'm assuming she healed Inojin first. I don't think she healed Boruto, but...
I don't think it was relevant to add it either way. Okay.
Yeah. So then, why wasn't Boruto's chakra flow halted in either situation? He was healed by Himawari and stabbed by Woodstyle, and in neither case was his chakra flow halted.
Jman, do you have any theories on this one?
He's Otsutsuki.
I hate that.
So,
well, what else? What else is there? Like I don't understand the panel here. Yeah, well, there's that. But like, how does Boruto get stabbed here and then takes no damage? Now I'm actually just like, my head's just spinning now. I didn't even notice that when I read that the first time.
Well, if it makes you feel better, you remember when Borushiki shot a hole in Code's shoulder with the Rasendan?
Yeah.
So you know how Code doesn't have healing powers, right?
Right.
Yeah, so you know that like Code healed that and like the next page. He's just gone. Never comes back.
Well, no, didn't he do that before his limiters were like removed? So maybe like when he removed his limiters, he was like, or was he fine when he like confronted Amato?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, he was fine starting from the next page.
Oh god,
just the rest of the chapter.
Oh no,
you never see the hole again after the page. The hole is.
Oh my god, no, there's no way.
There's not a single sign of holes.
Amazing. And as soon as this works, do you remember the fact that episode 2 character, who is it? Starts with K.
Kabuto? Kankuro? Kisame?
Episode 2 character. Naruto episode 2.
Oh, episode 2 character. Okay, they say. Wait, episode 2 of what?
Naruto.
Konohamaru?
Thank you. So you remember how Konohamaru was fighting Matsuri, and then Matsuri went like off the deep end and like wrapped around Konohamaru and stabbed him in the back?
Yeah, I remember this.
Yeah.
And it was like brutal too. Like he was bleeding a lot, and he was just like completely incapacitated. And then he did like the double Rasengan and escaped. And then there just weren't any spikes in his back ever again. And he's just fine.
You probably have to go to chapter 21 maybe for this. I don't know.
Yeah, just quickly showing Konohamaru in this chapter. Yeah, so he's still damaged, but at the very least, there's no spikes.
But it's better if you show chapter 21 because that's right after. Like here, he could have theoretically. I mean, here there's just no signs of damage.
Yeah, so he has like 2 spikes in his back or whatever. Like 2 holes anyway. It's not 2 spikes. The spikes are gone, but it's 2 holes in his back. Yeah, so go to chapter 21. Just go in a backwards order here. How do I do that?
I've never used Manga Plus.
Oh, let's scroll to the bottom of the chapter and hope. Oh, this? Okay, before a weird ad pops up, let me do this.
Three. What do the 3 dots in the top right do?
Oh, here. Hey. So going to the Konohamaru portions. We're going to be around here. Around here. Okay.
There's just no spikes in his bag.
He's got this. But is that the first thing we see?
In chapter 20, it's going to have probably more of what we want.
Yeah. I agree. By the way, Kamui, I do want to come back to this in a minute.
Absolutely.
Okay, it'd be nice if it was like easy.
Bro, I almost like think Manga Plus is worse than Viz in some aspects.
Is it broken? I don't remember it being this bad.
Like, I like the zoom in scroll of Manga Plus, but my god, everything else is worse.
Okay, what if I zoom out? Where is the things? What is happening?
Just hit the back button.
Yeah, that works. Okay, chapter 20. Well, first of all, there's no damage here, but I'm not going to count that.
He's got it all over his face.
Yeah, so first of all, his face.
Yeah, I don't think his face was damaged in any of the other chapters.
It's just messed up. Okay, let's get these parts. So his face is just getting torn into here. She's crying. By the way, you should probably put this in mistakes, but maybe we don't have to do that right now.
Probably already have it in mistakes. I don't know why I just start there to see if we already took damage.
Because we don't remember. It's a waste of time. This is a waste of time too, but at the very least, say
all these spikes in his back. You can see it as it's breaking. You can still see what's left.
Yeah. And the spikes just stay there in this chapter. So.
Yeah, so it's the next chapter where they're just gone, I guess.
Yeah. So I think that's the last time we see them in this chapter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So look up chapter 65, though, if you want to see the code thing. You probably have to just use a different website.
Kamui, why don't you find it? It's gonna be way quicker. We both know it's true. But Jman, why do you think that Ikimoto forgot?
Because he's incompetent.
Ooh, you said it, not
are
me.
You mellow? Okay, link in chat.
Wow, what do you know? It took 1.5 seconds. Okay, here we go.
Well, to be fair, if you put in any attempt, you could have done the same
thing. Where am I going?
Okay, so fine. Percent done. Okay, you see the whole. Okay, look. So you could see here, it's on the upper part of the cloak. So it's not the inside of the cloak. The outer part of the cloak has the hole, and obviously everything underneath wood. It goes all the way through to the other side. So every layer should have a hole. So now you scroll through, you will never see the hole again in any of the shots. Now, some of these, it's like, okay, I can understand for a little bit, but like, you will never see that hole again.
Oh, I disconnected. Oh, okay.
Oh, hello? Grandma?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
Did you hear any of that?
Come on here.
Okay. If I want to get technical, on the next page, like I referenced earlier, after the hole, you can see him at a spot where you would theoretically see the hole. He just didn't draw it, but Scroll up slightly. Down. No. Okay. Down. Technically there, but more so the next one. This one, you could have maybe seen it like somewhere, but I'm not gonna be overly critical. But at the end of I keep going down. Next chapter, it's really okay. If you go to like chapter 67, that's just where it's gonna be blatant. You just see him fighting. Just go to the bottom, and then go to the next chapter. Like, he just doesn't have the hole in the entirety of this fight.
Like, yeah, you'd see it.
You'll get plenty of shots where it would have been there.
Yeah. Maybe Kawaki shrunk the hole.
No hole.
Best one,
No hole. No hole. There's a good one right there.
Yeah. Does this damage stay? I doubt it.
I don't think so. Let's actually check when he goes back to the Ada's base. I know that all his bruises go away by the time he teleports back home. Oh, by the way, he's using that shoulder. You know, the one that has a hole in it to hold Damon.
Yeah, and it was his left, our right shoulder that had the spikes.
No, it was the other way. It was his right. Oh, you talk with this damage. Okay. Okay, scroll down.
Yeah.
Is it even there?
No.
Oh my.
So,
That's bad, man.
Yeah.
Alright, man. Okay, I forgot to add this in my Kawaki's Defenses Makes No Sense video.
No, guys, they're there. Look, well, I zoomed in too far now. I don't know which panel it is.
Just go to the end of the chapter, though. Just
shout out Boruto.
you have to scroll up a bit if you're doing this.
You said go to the end of the chapter. I don't know why you said that.
Well, because I was going to go to the end of the chapter when he's at his home base, but
the end of this chapter?
Now you're going the other way, so I figured just scroll up. So zoomed in. No! Oh my god. You know, I just give up. I give up. These chapters are wrong anyway. This is chapter 69.
No hope.
Okay, we get the point.
Wow.
Okay. So remember that. Code, who doesn't have healing, instantly heals several times. But he doesn't have healing.
I mean, I'd be fine if he did. Heal. I mean, at the very least, even if he has healing, his clothes don't.
Yeah, his clothes. That's crazy.
It's more interesting that his clothes do rather than him.
Alright, so I guess we can do Himawari. So I don't care. Okay, I do have a follow-up on this after. Let's get sound less mean, but I don't care how synergistic Himawari is with Kurama. Her aunt from a sliver of Kurama's chakra should not be more than Naruto's aunt from all of Kurama and Six-Pack Sage Mode, a beyond 10 Tails Jinchuriki level aunt, by the way. That's just ridiculous and way too forced. Himawari isn't even that much Uzumaki. Naruto is only a half and lacked distinctive traits of an Uzumaki. He has no red hair, his life force was distinctly weaker than Kushina as shown with Kurama's extraction, he has no chains, Minato only wanted to steal half of Kurama and Naruto, and so on. What? Her synergy is a lot synergistic, you're telling me? It's beyond the 10 tails? From a sliver of Kurama?
I don't think it's beyond the 10 tails, though. I think he's just implying that she has the potential.
No. As an amp.
Right?
No, just in terms of the amp.
Because Jura's beyond the 10 tails anyway, too.
Okay. So you're saying in terms of just the fact that she can synergize is just ridiculous?
Well, it's the fact that, like, so, just, like, if you just actually, like, think about some of the skill, it just seems like Himawari's amp is beyond, well, wait, ignore 6-pack stage mode. The fact that her synergy with a sliver of Kurama is just more of an amp than Naruto with all of Kurama. When Naruto is like perfectly synergized with Kurama anyway.
Right.
There's a panel of showing Naruto like with the puzzle pieces or whatever where Kurama's commenting on it. Whenever Naruto's like slapping the hands of everyone in the work to give him 9 tails chakra. Kamui, if you can go find that.
I can't because I walked away.
Okay. Well, it shows Naruto's synergy with Kurama, and it's like 90% perfect. So I guess Himawari with that last 10% is just like, that last 10% is where all the power is really coming from.
Never mind the fact that that's not how percentages work. That said, my follow-up is, if you scroll down just a little bit.
Oh, glad you came back for that. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one.
Okay. So how would you guys feel about this? Since they just are doing the synergy thing with Himawari, what if that synergy, combined with Naruto and Kurama using Baryon mode, led to Himawari and Kurama always in a permanent Baryon mode whenever she uses Kurama's power? In other words, they're so synergized, their chakras fused. In this manner, you can argue that Naruto and Kurama's choice to use Baryon mode led to Naruto passing on his power to the next generation in the most powerful way humanly possible. You can also do a really cool thing with Jura on the opposing end. More on that another time. This also obviously explains the ridiculous power scaling of Himawari's sliver of Kurama's chakra. That said, you can also argue that this potentially takes away from the uniqueness of Naruto and Kurama alone being the sole users of this power. But like, if that was the explanation, like the synergy just is Baryon mode basically, how would you feel about that?
Wait, so if it's permanently Baryon mode, is Kurama constantly just dying every time she uses that power?
No, so in this case, it would be like a thing so basically he just gets around the, because when it came to Naruto and Kurama's case, Kurama had to use up his chakra to fuse with Naruto to make a new chakra, based on new energy. But in this case, Kurama and Himawari would just be, like, they would just exist as Baryon mode, so they don't need to sacrifice their chakra to make Baryon mode. They just are Baryon mode.
I mean, I like the idea for Himawari's sake, but that does kind of downplay what Naruto and Kurama were able to do, especially for, like, you know, Naruto's like peak moment. Like, I don't know how like Naruto enthusiasts that like don't like Boruto would feel about that. Not that it even matters because they don't really follow Boruto, but yeah, I do think it kind of takes away from what Naruto did with Baryon mode at the end against Ishiki. But
that's kind of like the main concern, I would say.
Yeah, but moving forward, like it's a new era now. I mean, the people that hate the idea of Boruto aren't really gonna even tune into Boruto anymore. So I think people just want to see Himawari be OP as fuck, regardless if it takes away from Naruto and Kurama. So I, for one, I'm okay with it because I'm enjoying Boruto, but I could see why a lot of people would just be like, all right, like we're just kind of making our old characters look like shit compared to the new ones. But I mean, that's how it's kind of supposed to be, right? Like they are supposed to get surpassed by the new generation. So I'm okay with it, but.
Well, yeah, I'd rather the new generation surpass them by the new generation outpowering them rather than the old generation going down to the new generation's power level. The new generation's supposed to surpass the old one. The old one isn't supposed to anti-pass the new one. Pro-pass it. I don't know what the word would be. Revert under it.
Well, Oodie, how would you feel about this?
Man, I'm so glad that we're talking about this for the 800th time. So if we're just ignoring the fact that this retcons Baryon mode, which is supposed to use both Kurama and the user's chakra, both of them simultaneously donating it to this third new tank, basically.
So what I'm saying is, though, they already are the third new energy. They just are the third new energy.
And I'm saying that's not how this can work.
So how would you feel about it?
I feel like it's wrong.
And that's exactly what Ikimoto will do.
Which is exactly why I started this by saying, if they retcon it to this.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, we got Kodachi's Baryon mode, and this is Ikimoto's Baryon mode.
If you want, you could read the Shinky one that I posted. I'm walking away again.
Real quick, I think it's completely fine if they do this. Unlike you guys, I don't think this devalues the form, in my opinion. I think it is a cool thing. I would prefer if Himawari just never got the Nine Tails in the first place. But now that she has done that, and knowing that we aren't changing that going forwards, what's the best way to do it? I say just at this point, go frickin' all out. Give her perma Baryon mode. Let her scale up in that way. I'm fine with it.
Sure. What would you rather then if she didn't have Kurama?
The Byakugan.
Yeah.
I saw some people
mode.
commenting on my YouTube, like the Tensei gone and stuff. I don't even know if that would be possible.
Yeah, you could
I
do
don't care if it's
something.
possible. It just would be cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is Naruto and Hinata's child, Naruto, Ashura, Hagoromo, Ten Tails shenanigans, and then Hinata, Hyuga, Princess, Hamura shenanigans. Combination of the two bloodlines for the first time in ever, recombining that. You could do whatever there, whatever. Just not Nine Tails, please.
So you just prefer her just being strong with the Byakugan?
I mean, if you ask my honest opinion, I'd prefer if she just wasn't a ninja.
Would you be okay with her being using scientific ninja tools after the time skip? Because Kawaki is kind of about that.
I want her to choose an occupation that isn't a ninja. Have her go work at the ramen stand. I don't care. Have her be an artist. Let her do that.
Like an artist as in a painter?
Yeah, an artist as in not Sai or Inojin, but an artist. Just paints.
Like data, bro.
Yeah, not painting ninjutsu, just painting.
What about being a scientist with a motto and sumire?
Exactly. Sumire. She's already got it covered. Himawari doesn't need to do it.
Well, she can be the apprentice of sumire.
The whole point is that this is supposed to be an era of peace where children get to choose what they want to do instead of being forced down a path of power. And so being any kind of scientist or ninja would sort of take away from that. Yeah, she did choose it. But and I'm fine with her choosing it. And when I say preference, I don't really mean I'm fine either way. But I did like it more when she wasn't a ninja. At the very least, that's true. I'm not going to say her becoming a ninja is the thing that broke it. More that it's Ikimoto who was riding Himawari when she became a ninja. Outside of that. If she wants to be a ninja and become powerful, that's fine. As long as Kodachi's the one who writes it.
Like everything else.
I'm not a big fan of Ikimoto.
We are his #1 haters.
Every time I go on a podcast with you guys, the more I realize how inconsistent Ikimoto is.
Well, to be fair, I feel like the longer you wait to come on, the more passionate we hate Ikimoto.
And the more we love Kodachi.
A man who can do no wrong.
Well, if you if you want more reason to hate Ikimoto, so Jman, have you ever considered this? if Shinki does get freed, like right now in this arc, that means Ryu actually legitimately died without ever going after his completely helpless target that he himself made note of the fact that he could easily unseal.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah, I know, bro.
At least Matsuri and Konohamaru were forced to meet each other because of this mission. What's even the point of having him target Gaara at that point? Just make him target Arayato.
Yeah. Which leads me to believe that this isn't the last of Ryu, hopefully. Like, if this is, then yeah, I don't know what the fuck Ikimoto's doing. But I definitely expected Ryu encountering Gaara at least once. I actually expected him succeeding, but...
Yeah, same. I was hoping he would, but
yeah.
Real quick, have you noticed a major plot hole? Speaking of Gaara, I'll give you a hint. Araya.
No.
Araya's sword.
Oh yeah, wait. So Araya's sword isn't he using iron sand with that? That has nothing to do with Gaara, right?
Well, you know the sword that contains Shinki's chakra?
Yeah.
So you know who could have freed Gaara this whole time?
Oh.
Araya.
Who is sealed in Shinki's seal?
So you can manipulate iron sand?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Well, like I guess like you could debate that he needs to be just like Shinki himself in order to unseal it, like regardless of him using Shinki's iron sand on his sword, like. But like you would think, wait. So how do you guys expect him to unseal Gaara then? Just manipulate the iron sand using the sword? Because I got the impression that only Shinki could do that because he's the caster of that jutsu.
Well, I didn't get any impression at all, because Ikimoto refuses to answer us.
Yikes.
It's not in the story. It'd be nice if it was
damn
written in. No, but I could totally see it to where Shinki basically did a password, where you have to guess the password to unseal it or something else. Or maybe, yeah, he can control the iron sand, but he can't control the iron seal. Or, I don't know, they could do...
Yeah, something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Password.
Or even if you can control the iron sand, it's a sealing jutsu, and so you would need the unsealing jutsu rather than the sand itself.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of stuff you could do, theoretically. Or maybe Shinki's chakra isn't enough, and you would need all of Shinki's chakra, like an equal amount. Yeah, like say Shinki put like 40 units of chakra in the seal, and Shinki's chakra in the sword is only like 30 units, so it's not enough to unseal it. You could do something like that, but I don't know.
Yeah, but you guys are right. They definitely should have like specified like why he can't. They haven't even said anything yet about that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not great, and especially if like he just comes back after this, like Shinki. Like I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Ikimoto thought of created Araya's sword until like chapter 18.
Well, adding on to that though, why have Ryu decide immediately who his target is? Mamushi didn't, but Mamushi's was still very quick in his decision. It could be cool to have a Shinju to go through their life deciding the answer to that question and possibly never deciding it in the end, which, as we just mentioned, parallels Himawari not deciding to be a ninja in part 1, and that being okay, at least until the final arc anyways. The Shinju are newborn / the next generation. And man, you know what the Boruto story tells us about this next generation then in the era of peace? Yeah, it's Himawari. So, does Jura or do the Shinju themselves consider themselves in a time of peace? To where, like, the Shinju are just allowed to do whatever they want, basically. Do they even know what a time of peace is? since they're newborns. Like, hypothetically, like Matsuri doesn't know what crying is. Does she know what a time of peace is? Like, let alone the implications of what that contrasts to. So, like, hypothetically, if the Shinju do know what peace is, then, like, what do they think about peace? Going with the question I asked, it could be interesting to have a Shinju think times of peace are a mere delusion humans came up with, or something, or even be disinterested in it, or whatever else. Like, similarly with, like, Jura and his hypothesis on love, and the other Shinju don't even have any opinions on love yet. They could do something like that, to where maybe Jura bans times of peace for the Shinju, because it's his working hypothesis on human being a weakness, or something. So just in general, what are your thoughts on, like, all that?
Well, he did say that he inherently, like, well, not inherently, but he likes to fight now, and he thrives off fighting Boruto. So if he does just find pleasure in fighting, after the recent chapter now, you should probably think, like, he doesn't want to stop fighting, so that leads me to believe that he doesn't want peace. So yeah, maybe he just wants to create more conflict just so he can have fun fighting. I don't know. I don't think he would really care about peace, though, since he's, like, inherently a monster, and he just wants to achieve his goal eventually after learning what he needs to learn, which is, I mean, I don't know, he just kind of wants to learn everything. But I don't think he really cares for peace in itself. Yeah. I think, if anything, he'd want the opposite, because he just enjoys fighting so fucking much, apparently.
I mean, I'm not gonna confirm we know the state of the world and whether or not the world considers itself still in a time of peace. Yeah, we know what the time of peace is. It's when the 5 great nations aren't at war. The 5th great ninja war isn't declared. From what we understand, the 5 great nations aren't destabilized. I mean, maybe they have been from the claw grounds. It's not like Kikimoto's ever going to tell us, but from what we know, at the very least, the time of peace, as it was originally defined, hasn't changed and is still technically here, even if it's harder times and people are fighting in conflict against Otsutsuki and Tintails and Claw Grimes and whatever else. But let's just say, hypothetically for this, that society does consider it still in a time of peace, and the time of peace is as strong as ever, and it's never changed. Time of peace has never been more peaceful before. If the Shinju heard that the world is at peace, what do the Shinju think? Are the Shinju at peace, or do the Shinju ignore the world's peace? Do the Shinju not want the world to be at peace because they want to destroy the world? I mean, what do they think?
I think they probably just ignored it entirely,
answer
right?
First.
Yeah.
Hidari's answer to peace? What is that? Is it a disease?
Yeah, Hidari's just lost throughout the entire Two Blue Vortex.
Peace? Are you stupid?
I think they would just ignore it entirely, probably. I don't even think they would, like, dive into that I don't think they care about, like, the relationships between the 5 nations. Like,
I could see the other Shinju thinking that. Well, regardless of the relationship of the 5 nations, if they don't know what the time of peace is specifically defined as in terms of the 5 great nations not being at war, if they just hear that society or the world is in an era of peace, maybe they would think something of that. And I think, obviously, the most likely candidate would be Jura, because I agree the other Shinju seemingly just probably wouldn't. At least Hidari, I think, definitely wouldn't. I don't think Ryu would care. Matsuri might have opinions. Mamushi wouldn't care either.
Yeah, Mamushi is the most would not care at all.
He's a gremlin.
So, really, you got Matsuri, who might care, and Jura, who I think honestly would care. But I don't know what Jura would think about it, or what he would do in reaction
maybe he
to
sees
that.
it. Maybe he sees humans as, like, recessing in, like, power because they're not, like, fighting amongst each other to get stronger. So it just views it as a weakness, maybe.
Yeah, I said that'd be a cool callback to Shin Uchiha, because that's literally his philosophy, is that, like, evolution was halted because of the time of peace, blah, blah, blah. So he wanted to stop the time of peace so that humans would evolve, and that's what Jura's goal is.
Well, yeah, especially if he's doubling down on his idea that love is a weakness, he would assume that, or even if he hears or knows that love is what brought about the era of peace. Because of love, you have the era of peace, which made you weak. Which is proof that love is a weakness. So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way.
Yeah. You can get on board with that.
Yeah. And then Kamui said...
I just said a second ago. Shinju thing.
Yeah. That is what it is.
Nah, I already said it, so...
Oh, you already said that. Oh, shit. I wasn't reading that.
Yeah, but you didn't say the Shinju part.
Yeah.
Wait, what else did I say? I can't...
No, that's it. That's all of it. No, what I definitely think is interesting. I mean, what do you think of, like, the idea? Do you think Ryu I don't know if Ryu's going to be brought back or not. Let's just say he isn't brought back. Would you prefer it if Ryu's target was Gaara as it is now, or that he just never decided who his Gaara was, and he was going through life trying to make that decision or finding something that can help him decide? Similar to like a kid who's in college but doesn't know what his major is yet, but he's still going to college until he figures it out. So Ryu just hasn't figured it out yet, but he's still like searching for his answer. He just never
That could be
found
why
it.
he went with Matsuri on that mission to find Boruto, because he doesn't know his target anyway.
Yeah.
And then Jorah could be mad that Ryu got killed before ever finding his target.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that could be the reason why he wants to get his Soul Thorn back, and then we could just rewrite Hidari's reason in Chapter 13 for why Jorah got his Soul Thorn back. Instead of rotting, it's he wanted Hidari to experience something specific to Hidari.
Yeah, like devouring Sarada.
Yeah, but again, I feel like devouring your target would just be applicable to all of them, so I want to be specific to Hidari. I don't know what that would be, but it'd be cool to that.
Still wouldn't really justify him not killing Boruto, but...
Yeah. Well, actually, it would if it's related to that. If he wanted Hidari to do something with Boruto. That could work.
Well, then just rewrite the dialogue before it so that he doesn't say, yeah, Boruto, I need to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, Jman, which of these do you prefer? Or any additional notes?
So Ryu, he doesn't come back after this point, and you're saying what would be better if he just didn't have a target, or if his target just remained Gaara?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at this point, if you're saying he doesn't come back, which I don't think I think he will come back, then yeah, I'd probably rather him just not have a target. I mean, like, I don't know if it necessarily makes sense if Ryu's out with Mitsuri and he's like searching for his own target while searching for Boruto. I feel like it does make sense just them searching for Boruto alone. But I like what Kamui said when he said that, yeah, like, if he did die, then Jorah would be all fucking mad and want to get his Thorn Ball back because, you know, he wasn't able to find out who his target was. But, like, again, like what I said earlier, I do think he is going to come back, and I do think Gaara is going to play a role for Ryu in some type of way. I just refuse to believe that Ryu himself is just done.
Okay, yeah.
It feels too quick.
Yeah, I will add on to that. Koji's like future vision of the 5 Shinju in Chapter 13. We never saw them in that specific, smolder walk stance.
Yeah.
So maybe that just hasn't happened yet.
Okay. Well, Kamui, if we're going with that, then Part 1 Kawaki with his horn out, and that's one specific stance, never happened yet from Boruto's future vision.
Yeah.
So when's Part 1 Kawaki coming back?
Look, all I'm saying is, if I don't care how they explain it, if we just get Part 1 Kawaki in that pose, I'll be so happy. Like, for example, when I reach the limiters, Kawaki just looks younger. I won't even complain if it gets us that scene.
Boruto finds a time travel turtle.
Yeah.
Slip to.
He does it.
And for whatever reason, from like Boruto's like 6 fragments of the future, one of them was just like 4 years in the future, which is actually in the past. Doesn't make any sense at all.
And that's exactly why Ikimoto will do it.
Boruto would be so confused going into that. Now, what I will say is, whereas I generally agree with the Gaara sentiment, if Ryu, even if he comes back, if Ryu just never goes after his target in Gaara, I'm not going to say it was completely pointless, even if I agree it is pointless, because it's like other characters that have, or villains, I should say, that have the goal that we know that at the end of the day, they can't achieve, such as killing the main character, or Orochimaru stealing Sasuke's body, etc., etc. That it isn't pointless just because they never got it. And yeah, to be fair, these characters pursue after their goal, which is the point. I understand that. But for the audience, it adds the tension, and for the characters, it adds an obstacle in Ryu and a goal to achieve to stop Ryu. And I think it still works. Tension, again, for the audience, for the characters. There's still that aspect going there. It is also just a goal for Ryu, even if he... I can't say that, because if he doesn't go after it, then it might as well not be a goal at all. But it's at least a desire, which adds personality.
Okay, but like hypothetically, I know that the audience likes Gaara more, but since the story wants to make Yodo the most important character of all time, if Ryu's target just is Araya or Yodo, you have changed nothing. It works as far as tension, blah, blah. The only difference is that Naruto fans care more about Gaara. But gee whiz, this is not even Boruto Naruto Next Generation. No, it's Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, the third manga away from Naruto. Gaara's not even in the manga barely anymore either. So, like, how much do they care?
Cool. Sure. But Kamui, being entirely selfish, you and I specifically care more this way. I would prefer for the target to be Gaara than for it to be freaking Yodo.
Oh, I agree, because we would be saying, you know what? Oh no, not Yodo! I would be rooting for her to get devoured, because I'd be like, this is perfect. I don't even like her. Let's devour her.
It's like the fans that were rooting for Madara's kunai to hit Sakura in the Kamui dimension, when she was like trying to stab out Obito's arm. Oh, that's so good. No, okay, but to be fair, I wasn't comparing to Ryu's potential other target. I was comparing Ryu having Gaara as his target compared to having no target at all. And only those two choices.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. Again, that's not to say having no target at all wouldn't be better. It's to say having Gaara as a target isn't inherently bad, even if it is bad.
Well, we know it's not inherently bad, because we were hoping it'd be good.
No, but I do think even just knowing who the target is, in and of itself, is a good thing for the Shinju. Like, at the very least, it's a cool moment. Like, think about Hidari revealing his target as Sarada Uchiha. That was a dope panel. He didn't need to go after Sarada to make that cool. Same with Mamushi. He hasn't done anything in regard to his target. Exactly. Yeah, my target is you, Ada. That's the coolest freaking panel in all of 2 Blue Vortex.
Or when, just whenever Mamushi sees Ada.
Exactly. Yeah, so
but Jman, does you think Ryu will come back? Do you think both Matsuri and Ryu will come back, or only one?
Probably only one. I don't know why I think that, but I think it's only gonna be Ryu.
Okay, you're skipped the next question. Okay, I was gonna say, if it could only be one, who do you think it'd be? You pick Ryu.
Yeah, I just don't think there's much to do with Matsuri at this point.
Okay.
I mean, isn't Matsuri like, I don't know who's stronger. Who's stronger do you guys think? Matsuri or Ryu?
Well,
let's find out. We've ranked
it. Or kind of like low-key one-shot her. I know you had help with Konohamaru, but like, I don't know. I like Ryu's abilities. I just feel like there's more to work with, more cool things you can do with that character than whatever Matsuri is.
Well, I mean, Matsuri is the penetration jutsu.
Okay. Is it better than the Iron Sand? Or the whatever? I guess it's not even Iron Sand, is it? What Ryu's using? I don't think it's considered Iron Sand.
Do you think talking to Jinchuriki is better than Iron Sand?
Wait, do I think Matsuri talking is better than Ryu using Iron Sand?
Matsuri talking to trees versus Iron Sand. What do you think's better?
I guess I just don't like Matsuri's character at all. I just didn't like the dynamic between her and Konohamaru. It just completely turned me off from the idea of Matsuri in itself.
Oh, those are my favorite parts of those
The whole like
chapters.
don't call me Konohamaru-chan. That was just absolutely ridiculous on both Matsuri's part and I mean Matsuri was honestly more understandable, but the whole Konohamaru not accepting her or calling her that is just I don't know.
And that's why it was good.
No, I really did not like that part.
No, both in the literal sense of it being just goofy and absurd and outrageously ridiculous to watch, which is why me and Kamui had a blast making fun of it like we're freaking sports fans. But also, on a narrative literal sense, I think it is good to show the obsessive and unreasonable, irrational side of love, which is what they were going for.
That is the theme of this arc, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, so they were like intentionally trying to make it like that, and I think they obviously succeeded based on the fans' reactions. So it's this sounds silly, but it's true. It's good because it's bad.
Yeah, I still don't understand Konohamaru's thought process initially. Like he was literally told to just like befriend them.
Well,
he just got.
He was not doing his mission.
I can tell you his thought process. It was irrational.
Because of love, or
yep.
And Ikimoto said he wants to write irrational characters.
Yeah.
Wait, he said that?
He did say that.
What?
I know.
What does that mean, though?
And so it was like in the France interview, they're like, in Naruto, Kishimoto wrote every single villain was like not really evil because they all had their past, blah blah blah, backstories that made them, become the way they were. And Ikimoto was like, basically, yeah, I want to write different villains. I want to focus on irrational villains.
He's done a good job on that.
Yes. So when you ask, why did blank character do this? The answer is because they're irrational.
Yikes.
Code doesn't have a sob story. He just is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, every character in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex is Shippuden Karin.
She has a backstory.
Yeah, right. Yeah. They could have made Code like a sympathetic villain, but for whatever reason he really is just evil.
I still have hope, despite
just won't calm down.
Despite them ripping my heartstrings away, I still have hope. Despite them stomping on those heartstrings, I still have hope. Just based on like that Boruto Code dynamic from like chapter 5. The Code
also
help me out.
The way that like Juro really wants to see where Code's destiny leads him. The fact that Code parallels Kawaki, and Kawaki just does have the sad backstory.
Like, it is silly to say. Code is unironically a pretty chill guy.
I mean, chapter 56 and 7, he was just chill.
Yeah, he was chilling.
Just don't be on his kill list, and he's fine.
Yeah, but he does
just
ultimately
don't be written by Ikimoto.
I mean, even when Boruto teleported to him in like chapter 4 or 5 or whatever, Code wasn't immediately crazy. Like, I'm not gonna say he wasn't being a cool guy, but like, he was just like, oh, Boruto, like, oh, you're here now. Oh, wow, that's kind of cool, man. Like, what's up?
Yeah,
like
yeah. He's going to hear him out,
It's close enough.
Yeah, see, that's kind of cool, man.
Yeah, I got that impression from Code. But okay. Sticking with the Shinju, though. So let's just go with the idea that Ikimoto is going to add a Shinju who goes through the story without deciding his target. And maybe he decides at the very end. Maybe he dies before he.
What if they? I was gonna say, what about Jura, who keeps switching his target?
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. So the question is, first of all, do you think it applies to any of the current Shinju that it would be better if they had no target rather than their current target? And if not, would you make a new Shinju? In which case, which real person would you have it be? Or do you think like it would apply to Jura the best? And because I think that could be another also. Really
Jura works because he quote unquote has no prototype, so he should have been the one to not have a target. But he's the first one to have a target.
Well, I think it'd be cool if you rewrite it that way, though, because you could have Jura tell the others, "Hey, we all have a target. Think of yours." And everyone else finds their target. They're asking Jura,
Mamushi's like, Jura, who's your target?
He's like, I haven't decided.
No.
And that's why he can invade Gunahan instead of looking for Naruto, which, by the way, just is cool on its own. It's because he's still deciding. And he fights Himawari. He's like, you might be an interesting target. And so rather than deciding Himawari's target immediately, it would be a thing way, way later on, if ever at all.
Yeah.
In fact, this is goofy. It could be a thing to where Juro wants to devour different people that are interesting to him, not because they're his target, but because he wants to see if they could be his target.
Yeah, he just doesn't know.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. It'd make more sense on why Juro's just holding off right now on devouring Hima. If he actually didn't have a target yet, then it kind of makes more sense. But since he has a target, why isn't he just going to the village and devouring her like immediately?
Yeah. You know, Jman, what are your theories on why Hidari's not going after Sarada right now, and why Mamushi's not going after Ada right now, and why Jura's not going after Himawari right now, and why Ryu's not going after Gaara right now? Well, what are your theories?
See, I think they're not going after Boruto and Kawaki, just kind of the spite code and just like to learn more about the world before they destroy it. Although I don't know if they know that the world would be destroyed if they devour them. I don't even know if they know that yet.
But, well, they seem to know that it would turn them into a divine tree.
Yeah, but do they know
they already are divine trees?
Die?
But they would turn into a divine tree, even though they are divine trees.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I honestly I can't figure that out right now. I think they're just chill guys and they're just kind of chilling around, honestly. I think that's the only explanation, because like, why else would they just be holding back right now, other than just they're just more interested in learning other things, I guess, than devouring their target. Yeah. I can't really justify it though.
Irrationally chilling.
Maybe they're doing it to spite Code, because Code was trying to like give them orders, so they're just like all just chilling now, just to make Code work for something.
Okay, I don't think that's true, but that is my favorite interpretation. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like
I don't know
which episode of SpongeBob was it? I think when Plankton like hired SpongeBob, and SpongeBob's like, nah, I don't feel like it.
Yeah. That'd be a good thumbnail.
Oh, that's so good. I love that.
Yeah, what do you think, Kamui? Why do you think they're holding back?
Okay, so for ignoring Ikimoto as an answer, for Jura, there's kind of like a narrative thing that
we hope is true.
Saying for a long time.
Pray, beg to the heavens.
Yeah, we pray that this is true. But it's like a thing to where Jura himself is being a hypocrite. So he tells them to do one thing, but he himself never goes through with it. He finds like any excuse not to. We just see this consistently. He'll have the opportunities right in front of him, and then he'll look over there. Oh, a bird, and oh, a squirrel. Let me go do that instead. Oh no, Himawari got away. Oh, better get her next time. It's like he finds any excuse he can, which tells me that there's something making him hesitate. That could be lingering humanity. It could be a fear of the unknown. It could be a lot of things, but something's making him hesitate. For Mamushi, my answer is he just is reactive. When he first saw Ada, he's like, all right, you're my target. Since then, he hasn't seen Ada because she doesn't want to see him. And then since then, he literally hasn't done anything. So he might just not go after her until he sees her again. Alternatively, it could be that he just knows Damon's there and he just realizes where he stands to Damon. Matsuri, I don't have a good answer. She's just looking for Boruto for some reason. I don't know why her priority is the accomplice and shit. I don't know. It's no good reason. Yeah. She shouldn't be prioritizing that. Obviously, she met Konohamaru in this mission, but before then, Hidari did go after Zarda, so we'll give him that. And right now, he's just being Patrick at the Krusty Krab. Like, you know, like, I don't know why he doesn't just go. Like, it's like he waits for Jura's orders. That could be part of it, too. They're just waiting for Jura's orders. I mean, we could always pin this on Jura, I guess. Jura wants them to go after their target, but gives them anything to do that isn't going after their target. And then for you, I got nothing, bro. Like, bro literally said, yeah, my target's Gara. He goes to the Sand Village, but not there.
Yeah.
For me, it's funny how absolutely backwards the concept is. The fact that the targets are the ones confronting the Shinju. Why is Konohamaru the one going to Matsuri to target her, to kill her, rather than the other way around?
Or rather, their target is like the one person they don't want to see.
Oh my goodness. This is weird. My absolute favorite is Mamushi's not making a move because of Damon. That's my favorite. That's for sure.
No, like we said. So actually, we can present the. So Jman.
Well, real quick, we'll ask what his thoughts are. Yeah. Okay.
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Okay. One thing at a time. Wait. Yeah. Thoughts on what first?
Okay. What you were gonna ask the question? I thought you were gonna present the idea first, but no. Let's ask for Jman.
No, I was gonna ask him a question. Yeah. Before giving our answer.
Yeah.
So. Obviously, Boruto can't die, or at least can't permanently die in this Jura fight, because he lives in the flash forward scene.
Yeah.
How do you think Boruto is going to get out of this to where neither him nor Jura die? They just leave. How is that going to happen? What's your most likely theory?
Well, the fact that Kashin Koji said Boruto has absolutely no chance in defeating Jura and that he's done, like he literally states Boruto is done, leads me to believe that the only other person who could save Boruto right now is just Momoshiki himself. So I think this might be the time we see like Borushiki again. But I don't know exactly if that's gonna like it's gonna allow him to survive, but there might be consequences for that. Like I don't know if Momoshiki's even going to attempt to fight Jura or whatnot, or just escape or try and kill more of Boruto's like loved ones, or just kill Konohamaru himself or something like that. I don't know exactly how it's gonna go, but yeah, I do think I think Momoshiki will probably come out because Kashin Koji himself says that Boruto is done. So
do you think Koji will have foreseen Momoshiki coming out?
Probably, right? Because he can see all possible realities, so he's probably foreseen this, and he probably knows what's about to come of it, which might end up being Konohamaru just dying anyways. So even though Konohamaru was supposed to die, or Kashin Koji implied that that Konohamaru was supposed to die, that could work because it could show that Boruto can't really change certain futures or certain events. Even if he were to try and save Konohamaru, I guess he just ends up killing him himself because Jura like forces out Borushiki or some shit, and then Borushiki just goes to kill Konohamaru on some petty shit.
Okay, so whereas yes, Momoshiki is a singularity of fate, let's consider why. He is only one because Boruto is. But what is a singularity of fate? It's whenever you have knowledge of the future that you otherwise wouldn't know because you were told it, in which case you're like thinking about it, which might skew your actions to do something you otherwise would never have normally done if you never knew the information at all.
Okay.
Koji wants there to minimize the amount of singularity of fate at all. But based on the way singularity of fates work, if you're told something about the future, and then time passes to where that thing you were told about becomes the present moment, you are no longer a singularity of fate, because you no longer know what's going to happen in the future. I think that Boruto, outside of just knowing about the worst possible future in general, Boruto clearly is being surprised by things in this fight. The fact that Uzuhiko doesn't work, etc., etc. I don't think Boruto knows how this fight's gonna go or anything like that, besides what Koji told him, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, he doesn't know specific things about right now or the future. I don't think Boruto is currently a singularity of fate, which means by proxy, Momoshiki isn't, which means they aren't a singularity of fate, which is someone who can add on extra possibilities to 10 directions, which means Koji should be able to, using 10 directions, see exactly what will happen to Boruto, and by proxy, Momoshiki. They aren't able to change the future or whatever in a way that Koji wasn't foretelling or expecting or anything like that, because Momoshiki has Boruto's knowledge, and right now Boruto's knowledge is limited to whatever it would normally be, because Boruto doesn't have 10 directions, it's only whatever he's told, and Koji's minimizing
this is
what
crazy.
he's told.
Real quick, I'm going to say something crazy for a second. Unless Momoshiki, while silently in Boruto's mind, reuses future sight ability on Boruto to re-see the future again and is using that, and Koji doesn't know that.
That could happen, I suppose.
But based on Momoshiki's track record, he will be wrong.
So that's why
ignoring that.
That's why we don't think it's gonna be Momoshiki, even though if it could, based on what we just explained. But if it's not Momoshiki, do you have like a second runner-up best guess or anything of what's most likely?
I guess then maybe Boruto figures out a way to escape in time, because
because if he's not a singularity of fate, then Koji just would have seen whatever that is. So it can't be Karma, it can't be Jogan, because it has to be a choice, because that's where the branching paths of 10 directions branch off of in order to make the branching paths. It's from the choices, and Koji should be able to determine or see all of those choices, because, again, Boruto's not a singularity of fate. So it can't be Jogan, because it would have to be a choice, he would have to be aware of it, and it doesn't seem like he would be, or at least he wasn't told about in the future, as far as we're aware. So it's not going to be that, it's not going to be Karma, it's not going to be anything that Boruto chooses to do, because all of Boruto's choices are limited to Boruto's knowledge, which isn't influenced by 10 directions right now, because it's not singularity of fate. So Koji should know every choice that Boruto can or would make right now. And if Koji's saying that Boruto's toast, absolutely impossible for him to get away, then it can't be based off of anything like that, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense to me. So even though Boruto knows that Jura kills him if he, since he knows that Jura's gonna kill him, that once he's about to get killed, he no longer becomes a singularity, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, well, because now he's in the... See, basically the way I'm assuming, at least, assuming Koji uses it more than once a decade, the moment he told Boruto, Jura's gonna kill you if you show up, he should have just seen a hypothetical future Boruto in that moment, who knows Jura will kill him, fighting Jura. So he would see like a Boruto that's influenced by that. Like he would see that Boruto in his future. I'm assuming.
Oh.
Yeah,
because it should just update based off his current information, basically.
Keeping in mind that choices are the only thing that like influence the branching paths of 10 directions. 10 directions isn't immune to anything. It's not like he can't see the Shinju in it. It's not like he can't see Shinjutsu. He can see Jura. He can see all the abilities that all the characters do. He can see all the choices.
He can see omnipotence.
Exactly. So if he can see that, he can see anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not going to be a limitation either. Whatever choices that Jura can make, Koji should again know all of them, to where Boruto cannot escape based on no matter what Jura decides. He's just gonna kill Boruto.
So you think that Boruto's gonna die again?
No. We do have an answer.
What do you think is gonna happen? Yeah.
Well, okay, let me also just present another one. Maybe this is something that you could elaborate on, but do you think Kawaki could come?
I mean, like, I guess, right? But how does that say Boruto?
Exactly. So that's why I don't think that Kawaki's gonna come. First of all, I think it's nonsensical. The fact that he's in the Leaf Village, he'd have to either fly over or teleport. He doesn't even know about the Sand mission. He still has his limiters on, so he would have to get those off first. As if he's just randomly going to fly over here, even if he finds out about the
let's
mission.
also add this in, real quick. So we see Kawaki's talking to Amano about the Limner situation. In chapter 18, they're already fighting Ryu in that chapter. So, like, unless Kawaki not only debated Amano, but Amano just did the modifications in the 20 minutes of fighting that happens.
Yeah, right.
And then he has to get to the Sand Village that he doesn't know about. I don't see how he uses time to do this.
And even if he gets over there,
I don't think it's Kawaki.
I mean, it's too early for Boruto and Kawaki to do their team up defeat Jura thing that's supposed to be endgame. But again, all that aside, unless Koji's just not using 10 directions, Koji should just be able to see this, considering I don't think Kawaki is a singularity of fate right now, unless you want to argue that Boruto went out of his way, based on Koji's future sight, to tell him about the thing, to get his limiters off early.
But like I said, even if that is the case, Boruto already told him in chapter 15, as long as Koji reuses the ability in chapter 16 or later, I think he should be able to just see that new version of Kawaki that knows this.
Exactly. Which is why I said the use it once every decade thing, but exactly, yeah. I agree. So, and again, even if Kawaki comes, I don't think he and Boruto should be strong enough to just kill Jura. And let's just say hypothetically they are, and they do. Should Jura die right now?
No.
Absolutely not.
Exactly. You know, the leader of the Shinju, as there's like 2 or 3 other Shinju still.
The
we're just killing the leader
future.
first. Exactly.
So what do you think is going to happen then?
So getting to what we think is going to happen, you're going to love this. So let's walk you through it and see if you can come to the same conclusion. So we think that Jura's going to survive and that Boruto's going to survive, but it can't be based off of anything like 10 directions related that we already know. What's the one thing that can influence 10 directions?
A singularity?
A singularity of fate, that's right. So
as we know.
So then it's Ida then, and Ida's going to send Damon or some shit.
Okay, I'm glad you're saying that, because, okay, let's work through the process right now. Who all right now can we say are singularities of fate? Just like hypothetically, just the maybes right now. Just
so we know for
sure
Boruto, Ida, possibly like Shikamaru, possibly Kawaki, I guess.
Yeah, just throwing out all the possiblies right now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
maybe Damon then, to an extent, if Ida is telling Damon what's going on.
Okay, so that's exactly it. So if it has to be a singularity of fate, then it has to be a singularity of fate who's going to do something. Who is most reasonable to do something? Well, because Koji's the one who has 10 directions, he should be constantly updating or whatever.
Yeah.
Who is the only singularity of fate talking to Koji right now?
Ida.
Yeah. And
who's
we know
the only singularity of fate who hasn't done anything as a singularity in this arc yet?
I guess Damon then, or Ida?
Ada, yeah.
Well, for confirmed singularities.
Ida then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think Ida's going to do something?
Revealed order. Yeah, well, we also know it would just be in Ada's character to do this, because she's aware of it, she's watching it, she's talking to Koji, she knows Boruto is going to die. She has the ability to send Damon, why wouldn't she? She wants to talk to Boruto, remember? A couple chapters ago, she said she wants to do that, and she just generally likes Boruto. She doesn't want him to die.
True. Okay, that actually that does make sense, actually.
Yeah, and also Damon hasn't had his moment in Two Blue Vortex yet. He hasn't done
Damon
anything.
Likes to fight strong people. He can fight the worst possible future.
Listen, I'm not going to pretend like I'm not biased towards Damon. He's my favorite character by far in Boruto. I want him to do... It's my most preferable option. All the bias aside, all the dominoes just are leaning up this way, to the point that I also just coincidentally think this is most likely.
So, I'm a little iffy on most likely, because So I kind of agree with the J-Man's idea about Borushiki in terms of likeliness from Ikimoto's writing perspective.
That's the problem. That's the problem. It is most likely. It's Ikimoto's most likely. Is it most likely?
Yeah. But I do definitely think Damon's makes the most sense. It's what I think would be best from every angle. It's got the cool factor. Let's be honest. It's as long as Ikimoto actually gives it the time of day. It's probably the fight people would be most hyped to watch. It's the two strong. It's literally Gojo versus Sukuna. It's just the two strongest guys fighting. They're going to be hyped about that. It ties in all the singularity of face from the terms of plot foreshadowing and setup and payoff and all that.
Yeah.
That's just doing what was set up. Borushiki was not set up in this arc. He was set up last arc, actually. He should have shut up last arc. But this arc, it's the singularities of fate. Okay, Ada's the only one to yet do something. It makes the most sense because Damon's the only character who should be able to beat Jura, if anyone can. It's the only thing that Koji shouldn't be able to foresee. It hits all the check marks.
Yep, that's definitely probably the best theory I've heard so far. I don't think I've heard anyone say that either. So yeah, that's a great one right there.
Yeah, there you go. And again, it's the one that I obviously am gunning for. It's the one I want the most, of course. So I'm biased, but removing my bias for the explanation.
But that said, it doesn't. Technically speaking, this doesn't mean that all the above can't just happen first. Technically speaking, Mitsuki can get a power up. Borushiki can come out. Kawaki can show up. Sarada can wake back up and fight again. This is gonna all happen. Just David needs to be the reason that it actually works at the end. Jura actually leaves.
Yeah, you can drag it out for as long as you want, do as many of these concepts as you want, but they're all going to fail because Damon should be the conclusion of the fight.
So do you think what do you think is going to even happen between Jura and Damon then? Do you just think it's going to be a standoff?
It would either be a tie or Damon just is winning and Jura decides to leave.
Yeah.
I think
because if
Jura
is winning, then he's just gonna win and kill Boruto. Unless he just likes Damon that much. But then again, then he would just kill Boruto. Damon has to be protecting Boruto to the point that Jura can't kill him.
But I don't think a tie really makes sense because how would that even end in that case? Why would Jura go away if he's tying with Damon? Just go to the next.
I guess he would just decide I guess it's futile, divine intervention.
No, which is exactly why that's the. I almost don't even want to fight at that point. Just have Damon winning.
I mean, it'd also be cool though because Himawari made Jura release just a little bit, as you put it. Himawari's someone Damon was interested in. It could be cool to see Jura release a lot of it versus Damon.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, we're at it. You know what? Just have Himawari show up and fight Jura again. There you go.
Damon uses that as bait to make Jura stay.
I love it. Okay, with that being said, how much longer did we want to go for?
I'll leave it up to Jman.
I say I got another 20 minutes left in me.
Okay.
Because it's
perfect. You didn't say over an hour. Good.
Yeah, yeah. I got another 20 minutes here.
Well, I know exactly what I want to go to. And it might take me a minute to get to it because I'm slow at this stuff. Okay, so pinned messages. So I gotta pull it back up since I just can't find the tab. You know, pinned messages, it's around here somewhere. It's right here. Okay, and then the thing. So, J-Man. Back in chapter 21, towards the end even, did you notice anything peculiar?
Oh, yeah. Man, you're probably gonna talk about that marking, aren't you?
Well,
Boruto's flying Raijin marking.
which marking exactly are you referring to?
The one he like teleports to like. Well, yeah, that one right there. That one. Yeah,
So,
that confused the
yes.
shit out of me. I'm assuming that was kind of confusing y'all.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't get it, man.
So,
Okay, maybe he just shot out from it or something like that. I don't know.
So before
I don't know how
before the latest
Do not
chapter
get
came
it,
out and only chapter 21 was out, we had theories such as because Mitsuki was the one who had the thing, the pendant, seemingly he picked it up, he put it in his pocket or whatever, he carried it with him to the Ryu fight. The Ryu fight ended, we're cutting away back to Matsuri and Konohamaru. We know the plan, based on how it was described, was once they are finished with Ryu, they're going to go assist Konohamaru, or at least if that wasn't described, then at least it makes sense for them to do that, obviously. So it would make sense that as they're headed over there, maybe Mitsuki is just like throw in it just in case Boruto teleports, but he's not like relying on it since he's heading over there anyways. He's done with the Ryu fight, he's going to go assist Konohamaru. You might as well see Boruto teleport. I mean, it's his son anyways. He'll put his hope, belief, faith into Boruto anyways. But again, he's just going over there to assist, and that's the quickest way to get over there in the first place. So, Mitsuki threw it off screen, and next chapter is going to be revealed that's what happened. So that didn't happen, though. Yeah, Mitsuki isn't aware. Apparently, he just doesn't have it. I guess he set it back down on the ground again for some reason. That doesn't even actually make sense based on what they were doing. Like, did Ryu not think that was suspicious? So a lot of things
he was
there.
literally picking up what he was putting down.
Yeah, and the fact that Mitsuki wants to fight Claw Grimes instead of, see if Konohamaru's alive. And a Shinju level threat on Ryu's level who just destroyed their entire team, and Sarada is passed out and can't do anything this time, so she's gonna lose even worse if she's alive. Like, why is he not going over there? So that's something. But then we have the pendant just flying in the air for no reason.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Found a piece of metal.
So what was going through your head?
So yes, that's a pendant. So I guess Boruto had to have thrown it himself then, right? Like what?
So where is it possible? Kamui, you're the one that loves presenting these arguments. Do you wanna give the counter to the Boruto threw it?
Well, yeah. I guess how would that be possible?
There's no speed lines to indicate.
Oh,
this.
Yeah.
Well, that's just one of the arguments.
It's also just ridiculous to say that Boruto teleported to wherever, through the pendant, teleported then threw the shuriken, but teleported to the shuriken. Just imagine, like, this is just so goofy. It's just like, bro, just teleport. Like, unironically, might just be faster if he just runs than if he just throws it.
So, is there a way I can get to Two Blue Vortex chapter, I think, 7? Okay, yes. I got to it. Let's go. So, this, to be fair, I'm not going to say it's impossible, because they've already done absolutely ridiculous choreography. So, if you remember, in the Mitsuki versus Boruto fight...
Oh, this translation. Being able to break your limits is crazy. I believe Kaguya would be no rival for me right now.
I love that.
Can you just take a screenshot of this? Just put it in intro topics because we probably already have it somewhere, but this is so funny.
We haven't seen that translation in a while. I'll put that in intro topics, I guess.
Oh, it's so good. It's your pictures, I guess.
Yeah. Good call. But okay, so Sage Mode Mitsuki's, he's in Sage Mode, he's using his Sage Mode Chakra snakes.
I already know what you're going to show him, I
So,
know what you're going to
for
show.
context, again, Boruto's on the tree, he just teleported to the shuriken, he threw on the tree, so Boruto's up here, Mitsuki's on the ground, looking at him, and Mitsuki's gonna go in for the attack with his Chakra snakes. So here he goes, going for the attack with the snakes, and the snakes, oh, what are they doing? Oh, they're transforming into Mitsuki clones. But wait, Mitsuki's not done. Oh, wow, they're turning back into the snakes. Whoa, snake clones. Oh, wow. So, why did Mitsuki do that?
My only justification is it's meant to just throw Boruto off, but it doesn't seem like he did that because he just transformed right back into snakes before even a chance to like assume they're really clones.
So from snakes to clones to snakes, all in the same attack. I mean,
they didn't give Boruto a chance to think they were permanently clones.
Yeah.
Based on Boruto's face, he is surprised. Like, maybe, I mean, Mitsuki is basically describing, oh man, you're so strong, it's insane. So maybe Mitsuki's thinking, man, I really just gotta throw it all out there. It's a real Hail Mary on this one. It's so crazy, it might actually work.
It's Kaguya's reverse sexy jutsu plan, like.
So, do you have any justifications for Mitsuki's choreography here? His strategy?
He's a ninja. It's deception.
Is this the move behind the move? No, I got it. This is Ikimoto's move behind the move. So, if Ikimoto's writing this, I think the chakra pendant is the least of our worries. I've already lost. But there's that.
I also like that they're just referencing the Mitsuki moment when he puts it back on the ground. Or in his pocket, anywhere but the air. Did Mitsuki, like, off screen, just flick it into the air insanely high, and it's just now landing back to where that height is?
But then wouldn't there still be speed lines going down in this case?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what? We could
this is stupid. Absolutely ridiculous. What if that pendant was just slowly being pulled towards Sarada's little sphere things?
No.
That's why it's in the air.
I don't even.
But even then, should they have some speed lines?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We could probably end with this topic. So I'll let Jman go first, but I'm genuinely curious on Kamui's thoughts on this. And Jman's. Is it a good thing that kids in Boruto's era are being trained to fight? So obviously, the Madara shenanigans aside, so we don't need to debate that, but that is obviously the reason I wrote this here. I'm fine with either answer and can make the argument both ways. So this isn't like some trap or something. It's similar to what we started the podcast with, the whole like Obito thing that's clearly Madara debate related, but like that was fine. So I imagine it's gonna be like the same idea.
Yeah, I do think it's a good thing that Boruto's era is being trained to fight, because they're the next generation. They need to be prepared for what could possibly threaten them in the future. I think it's pretty straightforward. I mean, like the idea of child soldiers is a little ridiculous, but if we're talking in the sense of the Naruto universe, it's not that crazy. So I think it's fine. I think it's good.
Okay. Well, I'll just give my answer really quick. So the obvious one, because it's a battle shonen that exists. This is a sequel manga that does, in fact, exist. They should learn how to fight so that we can watch fights. You know, as the audience who wants to see that from a Naruto sequel manga. That's not to say that I don't enjoy the slice of life moments, especially I think I'm probably like the number one fan of seeing Himawari not be a ninja. And just being happy in her house with Naruto and Hinata, and just in Konoha and peaceful and all that. I like those slice of lives. I'm the number one defender of those. So I don't need this to be a fighting thing or whatever. But I recognize and acknowledge Boruto as a series should be a battle shonen. So just from the marketing perspective, advertising perspective, just the general perspective for the fans, they probably should know how to fight because we should be seeing fights.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I agree with that, yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's like the answer that's like not the real answer, because the real answer goes with, well, it's an era of peace, and so in a way, does it undermine the era of peace if they're doing the same thing they did in the era of conflict? They're training for what? For fights? So they can fight? Why are they fighting? It's the era of peace. And obviously, we're just going to ignore Otsutsuki's shenanigans for this. People are still going on missions, and yes, the world itself isn't at peace, which is sort of the point. And you can argue, which I think is important to bring up, the fact that it isn't just fighting, but defending, protecting your own village. But again, against what? It's the era of peace. I guess you could say against that Boruto movie Panda that Metal Lee lost against or something. So, you know, like the wildlife, they can't necessarily make peace with something that doesn't have awareness, freaking consciousness or whatever. So there's at least that. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't be trained to be capable of just doing the cool things they can do. Like, if I was in Naruto, I would like to learn how to walk up a tree, or walk on water, or run 70 miles an hour, or cool stuff like that. It's a cool thing to do in general, regardless of hand-to-hand combat. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's not like it's ever a bad thing to not know how to throw a shuriken straight. I'm not saying that you need to throw it at somebody, but like, just hypothetically, it's just a cool skill to learn at the very least. You can show off with it. It's a party trick. So it's like learning a backflip. It's just another thing that you can do with your physical body just because you're better at it. You're more equipped to handle the world, more versatile, more ready for any situation. But I think I got a little bit of a point across. I'll let Kamui go and then probably respond to whatever Kamui has to say.
Well, first, couple side tangents. One, at 4:15 a.m., Rock and Alice said, "I'm going to laugh at disability. It never works ever. Will have me wondering, why did you create a technique that never works?" What technique are you referring to, Rock and Alice? Because I don't remember what we were talking about. Second, if you go to used topics, you'll see that Dan CJ Orion is not too happy with us.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
So, by the way, this is open to the public. We need to change that.
Oh, man.
So, Jman, would you like to read this for us?
Even Jman, damn it. Men listening to Ood for so long, and even Kamui pisses me off for some reason. All they're complaining because things are not going the way they want on their theories is frustrating, and even Jman, damn. Letting bias influence your theories is not cool. If there is one person who will be brought back, it's Ryu, so they can save Gaara. So wait, bring back Ryu so they can save. Like bring back Ryu as in like bring back Shinki or.
Well, exactly. I'm already confused. Is he saying there's one Shinju to be brought back? It would be Ryu, so they can save Gaara. I don't think bringing back Ryu is the way to save Gaara.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
So-
and that's the whole point of this arc. Oh.
So is he implying that Shinki can't save Mara?
Well, Oodie, the point of this arc is to bring Ryu back.
Can I also mention how oxymoronic it is to say that we're disappointed our theories aren't going the way that... So you realize a theory is something that we don't know whether or not it's going to be true yet, because it hasn't happened yet, so we haven't had or not had our way on the theories yet.
I'll also add, honestly, most of our complaints, not all, but I think the majority are things we just weren't expecting. For example, Jorah's reason for leaving in chapter 13. It wasn't that a theory was disproven, it just came out of nowhere. We were not expecting anything remotely on that path. And that's our biggest critique of the series.
Well, let me just add, when he says letting bias influence your theories is not cool. So first of all, before even getting to this, before even addressing that, that's just wrong. Letting bias influencing your theories is absolutely cool. It's freaking awesome, bro. I love it. I'm down whenever people do that. Let people be passionate. I want to hear whatever unique, cool, bias thing they have to say when it comes to a theory. Freaking awesome.
Yeah,
but
theory is just ultimately your opinion, so.
Yeah, but that being said,
your opinion's gonna be biased.
maybe I just wasn't clear. I mean, Jman, let me know if you got this impression. But did I not specify that my Damon theory was not from a place of bias?
Sorry, I think you did say that it was kind of biased.
So
Sorry, I think you did. I think you did say that though, just because like Damon's your favorite character, right? But that doesn't take away from your theory, and it doesn't make it worse or any. I think it's the best theory I've heard so far. So
Well,
I don't really see the issue, even if it is biased.
I definitely did say I am biased towards Damon as he's my favorite character, but that I am not letting that bias influence the theory.
He did say that.
Okay, yeah, for sure, yeah.
But Oodie, I mean, things just aren't going the way you want on that theory. They just aren't. Like, Dan knows Ikimoto, and Ikimoto told him, like, that Jorah's just gonna leave because he'd already rotting. Like, he already told him.
Man, I didn't realize chapter 23 was out already.
Yeah, the leaks.
So, Kamui, let's not delete this. And when chapter 23 comes out, and if this does come true, we are absolutely immortalizing this comment.
Yes.
Perfect. I will take a screenshot of it so they can't delete it. I'm putting in pin messages. Hanging it up on my fridge. I love it. Okay, but Kamui,
Perfect.
as you were saying...
Oh yeah, right. Where's the topic again?
Was it use topic you wanted to go to a different topic and use topic, or was that the topic you wanted to go to?
So that was the used topic. Now I need to go back to your topic.
Okay.
Where did you post it?
Yeah, it's just on my screen. Is it a
Okay.
good thing that kids in Boruto's era are being trained to fight? You can take this from any perspective, in universe, story, narrative, in terms of Madara.
That was mainly what I was going to look at. So we know that. Okay. What was it? I had a. Man, I already forgot something I was going to say. Man, I had. This is my side tangents. I already forgot like 3 of the things I had ready.
So I guess, first of all, the best way to look at this, just to get the obvious out of the side, we'll just pretend that the Boruto series doesn't exist, and that it just ended with Naruto, and Kishimoto answered in an interview what happens afterwards. Like, he answers whether or not the kid's trained to fight or whatever. I guess that's probably the best way to go about it.
Okay, well, because I had a couple things. So first, I'll just address the novels. We do know in the novels that they are actively working towards not having Shinobi. So that will just kind of work in conjunction with the other thing I'm going to say. But we know that there actually are working towards that path to where people aren't trained to fight in those leads. But we know with Hashirama's final conversation with Madara, it's basically like, our generation doesn't have to do anything. What we need to do is just the best we can. The next generation will improve upon what we left off, and so on. So the goal is basically just do better than what the last generation was. Just keep improving. You don't need to do everything. You just need to improve it. So in that sense, Naruto established an aspect of peace, but it makes sense the next generation, not the three next, the next generation, shouldn't be expected to have already been perfect based off what they ended the series with. They should just be striving to improve it. Not perfect yet. Well, how are they going to do that? Well, they're going to have to train to fight. They're going to have shinobi because they're not at the point where there just are no shinobi. So it would be expected, based off how Kishimoto ended the story, that it's going to take a few generations before it's basically perfect peace, It's going to take a little while. I mean, with the novels, they're working towards that. Maybe Boruto's kids will have it. Maybe it's the kids, its grandkids, and so on. But I would say, I think it makes the most sense, just the way Naruto ended, that Boruto's generation is still going to have some shinobi. But you already see the progress. Some people like Himawari before Ikimoto could have been artists. They could have been doctors or whatever she was going to do. Kitasuke is a scientist. Sumire was now a scientist, and so on. Kabuto's an orphanage person. He's god tier. So I would say it's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Just to add on that, I think it's almost like irresponsible not to train children to be soldiers or to fight, because given the Shinobi world's track record, it's just like, why would you not equip the next generation with the tools needed to maintain what they currently have, at least?
Yeah, so that's what I would get at for like a Madara argument is, if anything, because they are in the real world and not in the Infinite Tsukiyomi, yeah, they should be trained to fight. Because based on like the Madara perspective, as long as they're in the real world, they'll need to learn how to fight because the real world will never have true peace. And so, if anything, that'd be an argument
it's
for
also
the
the fact that
Tsukiyomi.
Sasuke knows there's Tsuki level threats.
Yeah, but I feel like, to be fair, I feel like if we're just going with Naruto, we would just ignore that aspect. Like, we would just go with the world rather than the universe, basically.
Well, there's still there's still obviously bandits and whatnot. Like, there's still things that they need like soldiers to protect from. So I think it only makes sense.
Yeah, well, something that I do want to add, since I feel like both you and Kamui were getting to this notion. What is the next generation? Because I feel like whenever people say that, they think of kids, because literally they would be the next generation. But like, the next generation is just the generation after the one who is speaking. And so, like...
Yeah, well, what defines generation? I don't know, bro.
Well, what I mean by that...
I don't think Konohamaru is really the next generation from Naruto. I think he's close to the Naruto's generation. Right?
Yeah, that's fine. But like, I agree. I think he is in Naruto's generation. But just for the sake of like Konohamaru versus Naruto, we would consider them different generations just for making the distinction. But either way, so the next generation can improve on what you've done and go from there. It doesn't need to start with the kids. So just like as an example, Onoki's next generation is like 50-year-olds. Why can't they be the ones to be trained to fight? And I'm not saying it has to be 50, but like, I'm saying, why are we training like 5-year-olds to fight in the era of peace? Like, can it not just start at like, I don't know, like 15 or something crazy like that? Like,
I guess they're still considered kids though, right?
They have fun with it, man. Kids
yeah,
like
they enjoy it.
I mean, hey, if they're having a good time, I guess. But like,
they are though. Like the Academy, especially in Boruto's era, just is fun. The freaking playing, destroyed the Academy games of Manhunt or whatever the hell it was. Capture the Flag. They're loving it. So
that is one hand of it. The other hand is it responsible to teach kids this? And I think the answer is both yes and no, because if there are situations, and there shouldn't be, but if there are situations in the era piece to where there's no adults around and the kids need to fend for themselves because it's such a special, rare, weird scenario to where the kids need to do something and they should be prepared, but that shouldn't happen because it's an era piece. It's meant to prevent things like that from happening. But besides that, the other end of that, because that'd be a reason for that to be irresponsible, reason for it being irresponsible is the kids doing something with that power they have. For example, Kawaki was about to kill a kid when he came to Konoha. In Naruto Part 1, Naruto and Sasuke threw killer jutsus at one another that was said to be irresponsible, and you can blame that to the immaturity of the fact they are kids. And things like that.
Yeah, but that's true too.
Even,
I think when it comes to
even
that,
Himawari's
a lot of things to
classmates,
consider is just the world itself. It's not like ours. It goes back to the whole is Minato a psychopath thing.
Yeah.
Well, not in this universe. It's just like, in this universe, that just is what they do. So, like, yeah, you say, oh, it's irresponsible, definitely in our world, but, like, in their world, I have a little bit harder time saying it.
Well,
like,
but I'm using arguments in their world because Naruto and Sasuke throwing the Rasengan Chidori at each other was considered irresponsible by Kakashi and Jiraiya. I would attribute that to them being as young as they were, being immature.
Man, Sasuke wanted to kill Naruto to some extent, though. He was mad. He was just irresponsible. He just was mad, bro.
Yeah, again, I'm going to attribute that to them being immature, which would have to do with them being kids as well.
Okay, are you going to say that when he's 16?
Well, he is still a teenager, so hey, maybe we could start it at 17. But I'm just saying,
well,
Kamui,
he was 17 when he did the revolution.
I'm just saying,
older than
Kamui,
Naruto turned 17 on that day, so.
At the very least, they should have, like, an academy entrance exam that's actually, like, weeding people out. Iwabe should not be trained on jutsu. I'm sorry, Iwabe does not need jutsu. Like, maybe this was, like, some political gun rights thing of, like, not everyone in America should have a gun or something, but, like, you can make an argument that Iwabe shouldn't have ninjutsu. Like, some people
I don't know what they're... Especially in the Boruto era, I think they just let everyone join. They're just like, oh, everyone gets a chance.
Exactly.
In Naruto's era, Kakashi's era especially, we know that they were, like, picky, even though they needed ninja.
Yeah.
This guy barely made it, so...
Mm-hmm. But then we get to the most simplistic argument, and that is fighting is bad, and it's conflict, and it's negative and darkness and shadowy.
Yeah, see, but I feel like that's unfair because okay, a basketball game is conflict. That's not bad. A boxing match, they're trained to fight. But it's competitive sports. Technically speaking, if like a lot of these academy kids, I mean, we actually know, freaking Boruto, he's not thinking about World War III when he's in the academy. No, he's doing it for fun. He's trying to get Naruto's attention. But like to them, it almost is like sports. Like,
yeah,
to a lot of these kids in this era, it's like sports.
Okay, but that leads to pain and being hurt, and
but they're having fun. They're literally Hidan. They like pain.
Naruto tells you that pain is bad because Naruto hurts.
He tells you that loneliness is bad. They're not lonely in the academy because they have friends.
Well,
who they can share pain with together, just like pain, and then that's so good. It leads to peace. Because when you shed tears in pain, that's world peace.
Naruto's literal final conclusion in the entire series is that he did what he did for Sasuke because Naruto hurt.
He felt Sasuke's pain, and that's what made them friends.
Yeah, I'm not even, like, exaggerating or hyperbolizing that point. Naruto literally just says, because I hurt. It's as simple as it could possibly be, to the point of being Neanderthalic to an extent. Like, I almost just want to add a country accent.
Okay, now I remember because with the Kaguya thing. Oh, yeah, what if Kaguya was just a Neanderthal, not an alien? About to say that like 3 hours ago.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, if they're supposed to be striving towards peace, it's a little bit weird that they're striving towards conflict by training kids to fight.
No, they're striving towards competition, healthy conflict.
Does competition help peace?
If it's friendly.
Does it?
I mean, have you ever made friends with someone through competition?
Some people would argue that's toxic.
Well, okay, Cam.
That's exactly what I was referencing.
I mean, I didn't know that she thought that, but you said the word toxic.
Well, I don't know if she said that either, but it feels like something she would say. I mean, I'm pretty sure at some point she probably said Naruto and Sasuke's relationship was toxic early on or something.
She probably said the trauma word.
I mean, you know, that's besides she wants them to get together, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
I'm just
She's gonna love Hisoka and Illumi, I'm telling her.
I'm just saying. The Naruto series established the opposite of peace is fighting and vice versa. And Boruto era kids are being trained in the opposite of peace.
No, they're trained in competition.
Okay, Naruto era kids were trained in competition. They were even
they were trained in war.
They were literally taught the seal of reconciliation. What would they use that for?
The end of the war. Just like the chapter 699, the end of World War IV.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
There you go, see?
Oh, that's
counter.
It's the worst counter ever. I don't even want to address it.
No, I'm asking you to counter.
Okay, you want me to counter it? They were using it at times that weren't the end of the war.
No, this is the end of many wars. Each time was a war. It was the end of it.
Okay, a sparring match is not an officially declared war.
It was declared through Ninshu.
Ninshu is peace.
Yeah, that's the end of the war. Ninshu led to the end of the war. That's when they declared it. The Seal of Reconciliation.
So, the War of Peace?
No, they were in war while they sparred. And then the Ninshu Seal of Reconciliation ended the war.
Jman, any final words?
Huh?
Jman, any final words?
Oh, yes. Final words. I just want to say thank you to Kamui and Ood for having me on. Man, I'm a little bit salty with Ikimoto now. I can't lie. After that
oh, no, that one guy's going to really hate you saying that.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys got some good points, you know? Like, I can't really debate with some of these, especially that whole code getting pierced through the arm or through the shoulder, and that's like absolutely brutal. I can't lie.
Well, yeah,
like
maybe you can't debate it, but that hater could.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got a couple things he could say on that, but you know, maybe you guys should have him on next time and confront him.
Oh, I'm down.
Live.
Yeah, I was hoping he'd still be in the audience. He was here earlier.
He was in the audience earlier, but
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious what theory we had about Coach Shoulder that didn't come true that he's referencing. Or yeah, the spike that Konohama's back.
I don't know, like the flaws y'all point out, they're all reasonable to me. You know, me as someone who enjoys Two Blue Vortex can still acknowledge the flaws and just have fun with them. Like it's fine. It doesn't ruin the story for me whatsoever.
Yeah, we have a blast, which is something the haters can't understand.
Yeah, so it is what it is. But this was a good chat.
I got you. Well, I do have to ask, and feel free to say no. You know, it's whatever. It's whatever you're comfortable with. But
okay.
But coming back to this.
Oh God.
So 3 hours later, have you had enough time to think of a rap response?
God damn it. No, I'm going to come back. Next time you guys have me on, I'll come back with a full verse.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Yeah. Next time I come back, I'll give Chippy a full verse because honestly, I can't let that shit slide, man.
Listen, now that you're saying that, me and Kamui are going to be badgering you to come back up your way.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, are you available?
I'll provide a
later
beat
this
and
week?
everything. Yeah, we'll see
tomorrow,
later this week, maybe next week. You know, I don't know when you guys do your stuff, but yeah, we'll figure out a time.
All right.
Whatever.
Sounds good.
There is no schedule.
Well.
Oh, okay.
Considering how much I love your outro during your streams and whatnot, will you give us your signature Jman closeout?
What's my signature, bro? I don't have a signature, do I?
Oh, you say a lot of things. You say like, oh right, the Tomi posse. What is it? It's the Akatsuki group people.
Well, that's intended for the hidden drip village.
Yeah. Okay. But you do your thing at the end. I think the final thing you say is like peace.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can give him a. Yeah, okay. Wait, I don't even know how to end this now, man. Make sure y'all have a good night. Don't drink and drive. Stay safe. That's usually what I say.
There you go.
I think that's a good outro.
Are we gonna get that pace?
Peace.
I'll take it.